Previously on my farming life.
It is a busy day. You can see the sun is out. Yo, there's Uncle though, flying along in the 3125, doing a great job. Yeah, there goes cousin. Oh, he's in the case there. That's a rough all ride. I'm still undecided as to which tractor we get rid of. Maybe it'll be that one or the 7810. I don't know at the moment, but when everything seems to be going just fine, something comes up. And there is indeed his truck. So what has happened here? Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to My Farming Life. You join me in the Land Rover this morning. We are going to have a look at a farm sale that's coming up this afternoon because we've got a lot to do today and we won't be able to check it out whilst it's actually happening. So we're going to go down here. It's just not far away. It's actually a friend of the family's, really, a local farmer by the name of Derek, who after many years is going to be wrapping things up. It looks like he and his family made the decision, but in reality, it's been something that's been coming, I would say. It's been a slow wind down of the farm and the business, so this seems like probably more of an opportune time. But yeah, we're going to go into the maintenance hall farm here and have a quick look. The gate's been shut. I'm sure he won't mind if I just open that up quickly and go and have a quick peek. But yeah, interesting to see what's going to be up here. He has a few bits of machinery of his own, and then as with any farm sale, really, local farmers will stick bits and pieces of their own in there, but I don't think there'll be too much today because, well, it's a bit of a smaller scale. This is Derek's farm here, and this was a pig farm for the longest time going, and it's obviously a little bit run down in some spots there. Could do with a little bit of something, a little bit of magic or just some TLC, but I just don't think it's going to get it, and as a result, you know, the pigs haven't been in here. I can't remember when they were here last, and we've found land around here for quite a few years, and yeah, I can't remember seeing pigs here, but there used to be pigs here once upon a time. This shed is certainly not in any good shape, and he's got a few bits of equipment. I do believe he actually ended up being more of a fodder farm, really, so producing things like hay, silage, straw for local farmers, and then kind of pushed more into equestrian, really. Oh, there's someone having a look at the trailer there. Yeah, so producing a lot of equestrian-based food or silage, haylage, that kind of stuff. So you can see a lot of small equipment. He actually had, I was talking to Bungle the other day, that I think he ended up with about 250 acres around here, thereabouts, maybe a little bit less. And he is, yeah, I think that's all going to be leased out. A lot of it stretches over that way, and up towards the dryer, and then a bit over, kind of back towards our farms, really. We won't be taking on that land. Our land, the most recent block that we've got, is actually just over the other side of that grass field. But yeah, as you can see, a few nice bits of equipment around here. Look at this old beautiful Leyland. Look at the condition that thing is in. It's absolutely immaculate. It really is a great example there with the old exhaust going underneath and up out the back there. You'll love to see it. Cost an arm and leg to replace that these days, I'm sure. But yeah, really nice example of an old 285. And then you've got an International 946 here again. All these machines were kept inside. He looked after them. And they were only used, like I say, in the latter years to do a bit of haylage with a bit of hay. And that was it, really. Mainly small square bales and small round bales. Things that could be easily moved around without loaders if you needed to. And then, yeah, there's a few other bits of equipment in here as well. An old combine, telehandler, which is in fairly good nick. A couple of mowers, a hay bob, inline baler. That's probably his most recent purchase actually there, and it's looking immaculate. It really is very, very nice. It'll do very well. A lot of money for something like that where you can have high output for small bales, given that small bales are so popular these days with the equine industry. And that's the old class round baler. That's a small round baler in the back there, that must be said. It's a old seed drill. Can actually do anything? Yeah, that would still serve a purpose. I often think of something like this for just basic little grass plots these days. We've got our attachment on the back of our grass harrow, which does the job, but that would that'd be a lot cheaper option for some, no doubt. I don't think that was his. I think that's been added in. So is the trailer at the end there. But then you can see just a few small bits and pieces. Keep them going. But crucially, you might recognize this. We're putting the 956 into the auction. It is going. We've decided that this is the tractor that we're going to get rid of. I could have cleaned the front of that a bit better, Bungle. Look at that. It was about time that we got rid of one. And so the case is going to go. And it's in the lineup here. So we'll just have to see if there's enough people to come to be interested with it. This has been advertised now for a while, so it's been we've got a reserve on it. If it doesn't meet the reserve, it doesn't meet the reserve, and it will come back to the yard and we'll find another place to sell it there. But it's up and it will go at some stage or other, which is quite exciting to be able to get it on its way. I do really love that tractor, but just having this, the new Massey, the 3125, the 7740 and the 7810 was a little bit too much. And we're going to be using most of those other machines today. As a matter of fact, Uncle and Bungle are out in 2 of them now. And then, yeah, so it's a little bit that we didn't need, so, and we can get a bit of money back for it as well. So that's always good. I do really like the drop nose 5425 as well. It's a very nice machine. Perfect little turn on sixpence kind of tractor there, but with enough power to get some big jobs done. And look at this old girl. The old combine here. Now, I remember him using this on some of the fields neighboring to the house that I grew up in. Yeah, got a lot of work. And it just looks like he's kept such good condition of it. It really, really is beautiful. Very simple machine. But again, if you only have less than 100 acres, that'll get you through a year still. That'll get you through a couple of years and get you out of a bit of a spot without having to pay financing on a big whacking new combine. So it'll do someone somewhere some good. No doubt. I know a lot of these things typically end up going back over to Europe somewhere, but we'll see. Be curious to see how much that makes and what that does. But yeah, he's been looking after it well. He's getting on a little bit in ages, the Derek, these days, so he doesn't do too much. He actually still has a small plot, which is where we sell some of our bales off with, back over the other way towards Netherton. So there is a spot over there, so be curious to see what that looks like and see if he keeps that as well, or what the plan will be, because that's where he gets buys and sells a lot of his bales from. So we'll have to see how that goes. Tidy little mower again, really nice example of one, and they do a great job. Now this plow definitely isn't his. This is someone else bringing this in to sell. It looks like it could do with a bit of a touch up there in places and need some new metals on it, but ultimately it's not bad fire for a plow. I'll be curious to see what that looks like. I have Uncle and Bungle coming down here later on for the actual sale, just for a bit of moral support, really. I might ask them to keep an eye on this and see where we go. And I want to buy myself a bit of a present, really. And I think what I want and what would match perfectly would be this. Go so well on the front of my Massey, don't you think? Really would like that. I might see. We'll keep get them to keep an eye on that as well. See how that goes, but. Yeah, not much here really, but it's gonna be nice to see. This is the time of day where you're allowed to come in and have a look there. This guy seems really keen on the trailer, I must admit. But yeah, it's sad in one respect that this is another farmer who's been in this area for decades and, you know, wrapping up there and folding up his business. And there's not too many of the younger people come through with the opportunity to take over the farm or the land. So a lot of the land around here, like I said, is being used for grass. This is just a grant scheme really for I guess it's like a game crop, and that's all that is. That's not going to be harvested at all. It's just there. So there's a lot of places like that these days, and some of the smaller farmsteads like you see, like this one, will inevitably at some stage just be left to ruin, and before you know it, they'll just be a bit more derelict. So it's a bit of a shame, really is. But as I say, this is the way of the world. So we're gonna just leave this here for now. I wanted to come down and have a look today and see what it was looking like, because I know my plan for the day is going to be quite busy. Not going to give me all that free time to come down for the actual event itself this afternoon. I think it kicks off around 1 or 2 o'clock, so I won't be able to do that one, and as a result I thought I'd just come in and say hello and have a quick look and see what's around and see how the case is looking as well. I will be sending Bungle and Uncle down so they can keep me apprised of all of the costs. But yeah, that's what we'll have a look. Now we're going to head back on up to our farm. Lots happening today. It's been some really nice weather actually. This break in the weather that we were promised has actually arrived, and it's been really useful in the sense that we have successfully been able to get all that muck spread, which is fantastic. Really pleased about that. We got some bales carted off the field as well and stacked at Bellum. Now it does seem like we're going to have a bit of a surplus of bales at Moor Farm. I'm waiting to see what it looks like once we've got them all cleared from around South Healy before we decide what we're going to do next, because it is, well, it's possible we might sell them. Turns out the reason that we ended up doing a bit more of the linseed straw than I was expecting is because the belt blew on the back of the chopper. So we will get that baled up there, which It's not ideal because it won't make great straw bales, but there is not a lot of straw around at the moment. And with that being said, so it might well be worth us just hanging on to them and trying to sell them at some stage. So we will very much see. But yeah, ultimately, we're just going to keep pushing through. Squeeze through here. Cultivation work continues. We're going to be establishing a cover crop today. We're also going to be looking into hopefully getting the new tractor, my tractor, all set up with the combination drill on the back and the press, because I do want to start getting some cereal crops into the ground sooner rather than later. So Bungle and Uncle are out there now cracking along, plowing and then power harrowing. You'll see Uncle finished his field up the other day, and then yeah, he's got a lot to go around here, that's for sure. And we have a lot of work to do ahead of us. There's still 2 fields left to combine, one which won't be ready for another, well, probably 3 or 4 weeks at the very earliest for the soybeans. But the other field there is the linseed, which is over at South Healy. We just are waiting to get a belt. The combine's down here still. We'll get that belt and then we can get that all taken care of. It's not doing too much harm where it is right now. And then we'll be all good to go. So we'll just sneak our way over to here and see how we're getting on. And now, if they are where they should be, we'll just go and have a bit of a look down here. We got all of this muck spread. Like I say, there was a lot of it. It went quite farther than I was expecting it to, if I'm being very honest. But what it has done is also almost accelerate the growth of the weeds there, if you can believe it or not. So we do need to just get this all chipped off and plowed over there, and then that'll be good. But that's going to get sprayed, and then we'll plow that one in. Yeah, weeds are just growing everywhere. 'Tis the season. So they are flying along. Lovely stuff. Once again, we got Bungle in the he's actually in the 7810 with the power harrow on. He chose to put the dual wheels on there, and it's looking immense. It really, really is. We thought to keep that one just because it's in a little bit better condition, better hours on the clock as well, but younger hours actually than the 956. And it's good to have around as well, so we can stick it onto the feeder wagon, nice and small machine, and it can do all those jobs very, very well. So that's why we've kept hold of that. And there is Bungle, like I say, in the 7810. Uncle is plowing away, still loving his life plowing away, and with everything's turned out nicely. This field's this had muck spread on as well, a bit of lime in there too, and it's being plowed in quite nicely now. So we are, yeah, we'll be coming into this one to put some barley into here when we can, which is amazing because I only have at the yard 1 bag of cover crop right now. So 1 bag of like an oilseed radish mix. It's about a ton bag. So I don't have anything else to sow. So I'm hoping that's going to arrive today or tomorrow, but we'll have to see where they are going. They're trying to get, it's still only about 9 o'clock this morning because they are trying to get as much done to get ahead of me before they go off to the sale this afternoon, so I can continue to have a bit of an advantage or something to work at. But all right, plowing over quite nice there. It won't be long till Uncle's starting into the shorts there, and yeah, it's gonna be even easier to drill now because it's been power harrowed down before, well, after that fact as well, so we'll look forward to getting in. But it's burying all the trash on the surface very nicely, so I cannot complain. And then yeah, this is what we're going to be coming into with a bit of a cover crop, so this should go in very, very well. We've got the 7740 with our tine harrow seeder, and we're just going to come straight on in here. I'm not too concerned about the condition it goes in, and we'll probably give it a rollover after as well, just to level it out even more. But ultimately, I think it'll look very, very good. Quite a few stones here, which I'm hoping the roller will take care of. And then yeah, this is going to be just left until the spring, where this will have spring barley put into it, and we will see how we go. So for right now, we're just going to take the Land Rover back around, park it up there, and get ourselves ready to go with the tractor and the drill, and we'll chase these boys a little bit, and then not long before they'll get themselves away and go and have a catch up with the farm sale, which is really, you know, the perfect place to go and buy machinery that you don't need and spend money that you don't often have. So that's typically how farm sales work. But at least this time around we're selling, so that's gonna be good. I've got a little bit of money that's set aside for a weight there if I can, and I'm interested to see if that 5-furrow plow does anything. Main reason for being, that's an old 4-furrow plow. It works well on the 3125. It ticks along quite nicely, but we're getting a lot more land coming up both now and in the future. And if I can stick a 5-furrow plow on my Massey as well, just to speed that job up, I don't think that's the worst idea overall. But anyway, I'm going to get myself all sorted out. Oh, hello, folks. Not quite that warm, sir. And we will get ourselves going. Okay, so we are just about getting ourselves ready to fill up our tine harrow. And then we are, like I said, putting in a bit of a mixture here of a cover crop. It's oilseed, radish, there's a few other bits and pieces in there. Going to be nice and green and leafy, which is what we need. We're delicately balancing on the front of the bale spike there. Not advised, but you know, we'll make it work. And yeah, this is our grass harrow. Now, we recently bought the extension, which is the hopper and the air seed attachment, just so we can restitch in some grass seeds when we need to, but we can also do things like cover crop work as well, which would be nice and easy. What I will do, though, is just get this fired up, because I'm going to want to just fold this out so we can actually fill this up with a little bit more ease. And then, yeah, we'll get ourselves going. There you go. It's a tiny looking harrow. Works really well. It's about 4 meters wide there, so it's not too big. Doesn't take too much pulling, but it's handy enough. And they are still cracking along over there, which is good. And we'll just get this filled. Doesn't take too much to fill up here, but we will be coming backwards and forwards a bit to do this. Ooh, easy does it. Alright, there you go. I'll leave this somewhere which is a little bit more attainable, just because, like I say, we're going to have to fill up a couple of times. The idea being that we're going to put a few fields into cover crop there. Those that are not going to be planted until the spring, we're going to put a cover crop into, rather than just leaving them as set aside for now, or even winter plowing. We won't do any more of that. So yeah, we'll get that put in, and then that should really help both with the soil structure and also the quality of the nutrients in there. Specifically with this cover crop in here, it does really help with nitrogen levels, so that is going to be part of the plan. You know what, we might actually where can we'll take this all the way down whilst we can, and then yeah, we'll be able to get ourselves going today. Hopefully by the end of the day I'll have the drill on the massey, and we'll be, if we haven't started, we'll be getting close to going, and that's going to be the game plan there, just so we can get a bit of work done. I don't trust these sheep for a hot second. We'll have to shut this again, and we'll just go and park this in the corner. I don't know how much longer they're going to be going for. I think they'll probably be looking to get away sharply. Just nearly ran over a sheep. Oh, get out of the way. My word. And yeah, we'll probably just leave this down here, and then we can go back and get the 7810, and then we can go back and get our tractor. Will come on in to get going here. But yeah, good progress being made. A lot of diesel being burnt today, but it is the start that we need to make, so I am not too concerned with that. And then yeah, like I say, we'll get going with this. We're going to try and get all of the plowing done down here over the course of the next week or so. And if we can, that'll be fantastic, just to get us ahead of the game. Like I said, at some point we're going to have to go and finish off the harvesting of the fields that we can do, at least that one field of linseed up at South Healy. But then after that, yeah, we are pretty much all putting our attention to cultivation work. There's a bit of a slow lift here, but it will lift up anyway. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so we've got all the muck carters out there. We have to find out where we're going to peg the next lot of muck to when we get to that, once we're ready. But it won't be in the same field. That field is probably going to be the next one to get ploughed over, actually. Just because it's in the best condition to do so at the moment, I would say. And we'll go and get ourselves set up down here, ready to go. This field's going to take a little bit of time for me to get going. A couple of hours to get it all drilled in. And then at some stage, we will bring our rollers over. Our rollers kind of sit in the hedge for most of the year. They're an old set of rollers, so they're not in much condition. But they'll sit over, and they're actually just around the corner over there. You can just see them on the other side of the trees there, so they'll stay there for a little bit. We'll see if we need any more, but we'll probably put those onto the 7810 when that's finished as well. A good little roller tractor, that one. Alright, well, we'll get ourselves going here, and we'll see how we get on. And this shouldn't take too much long. Good day to do it, nice and dry. Won't make too much of a mess there, which is always a benefit. and we can make some progress here. Really, this is the start of our autumn drilling campaign, so no doubt lots more to go. Yeah, good to get a start. And with these fields here, it's great because they're all connected and they all have. We've made a wide enough entrance so that we can get our combine through without taking off the header, and even put the header on in the grass field here if we have to. Plenty of space to get through there. It works very, very well indeed. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this is coming over. Actually, a few stones, like I say, but I think some of these should be okay to be rolled down, and we'll see. But yeah, we've picked stones and stones and stones for years gone by recently, so I'm a bit reluctant to do too much more of it. I do love this Massey. It's an absolute beast of a machine. It really is. Couldn't get rid of this one anytime soon. Well, even though it is working quite hard on the plow there, it seems today. That's not quite ideal, but hey ho. How are we getting on?
Pretty well so far. Everything seems to be turning over well quite nicely.
Yeah, it looks like you're making some good ground here, actually. It's coming up quite nicely, plowing everything in well.
Yep.
And then Bungle's doing a nice job of following up behind you there.
Light work for the power harrow there. Should be easy drilling when you get to it.
How much longer are you going to be going for? Are you going to be heading over to the sales sooner rather than later?
Yep. I am actually going to stop here.
Alrighty then, well, I will let you go. I'm going to start with the cover crop behind us there, and then we'll see how we get on. But after that, I've got to get the drill onto the Massey and get it all calibrated. So I probably won't get going today, maybe tomorrow, but we'll see how we get on. Yeah, alright then, well, enjoy.
Will do.
And let me know how we get on with the case as well. I'm curious to see how that goes. Alright, so I think he's about to stop there actually, which will be fine. We're going to get ourselves down to the corner here and we can get ourselves away and just see how we get going. We'll have to turn on our drill. Not borrowing tram lines, obviously we don't need them for this. It's just a cover crop going in there, so anything will be fine. And then we'll see how we get on. But remember that there is still a public footpath down here. Of course, too much of a nuisance for them. Even though they don't really seem to care about me being here. And with that then, we're away. Nice and easy. We'll just get a few passes done here, but ultimately we are drilling our first cover crop, going in nicely as well. This soil is actually, despite being heavier land, it's plowed over quite well, and it's not taking too much to break down. We will, if we have to, we have like a leveling board that we can stick on the front of this harrow just to help break things up a little bit. And then we'll probably come over with the roller when we're finished here as well, just to make sure it's all looking good. But otherwise, cover crop is in and making some good progress here. So we will just continue along our way. And then, yeah, well, we'll get the drill all set up as well. So we should see how we get going. But ultimately, yeah, drilling has started in earnest and we shall continue to follow along. I'll come back to you when we made a little bit more progress here and a little bit more headway. Well, job done. 2.5 hours to get that field rattled out there. Once you get going, able to really make some good progress there. You can fly through that little tine seeder. It's looking very, very good indeed. We're just going to park the JCB up in the shed, then take off the air seeder, start to play around with the Massey and get that all set up as well, because that's going to be good. And then, yeah, we're all set, really. Uncle and Bungle have been away for a while, but that's never out of the ordinary for those two when they get going. But, yeah, let's stick this into here for the now. Figure out what we're going to do with this seed. Perfect. Okie dokie then. So, like I say, we just dropped this off. We're going to stick it back into the shed from whence it came. And then that should be handy. Keep out of trouble. I might this time just stick it right back in the corner if I get through here. Excellent stuff. A bit too low. There you go. That's better. Yeah, because I haven't quite got anything else ready yet, and I'm fairly sure we'll need this again at a different time, but we'll knock that off there. And then, alright, yeah, like I say, it's time. It's time for us to start getting this Massey all set up and ready to go. Despite not having any seed yet, hopefully that's arriving very shortly, but we'll get this all ready so we can drilling can properly start for us. And when you know, just as we finish here, the rain comes in, so let's just jump on into our Massey. We're probably just going to start by, I think we're going to get our drill out of the shed because it'll be a little bit easier to do so. Because without having to press on as well. So let's just get that one turned around. Hasn't done too much heavy work yet since we've had it there because we haven't really started, but we have done a bit of road work with it, caught a little bit of grain around, obviously the muck spreading as well. That was easy stuff for it, really. But now this is where it's going to come into its own. It's still allowing us to get a large amount of ground covered at any one time, and really sticking with the drilling. So we have now got the GPS set up on here as well. We're going full Trimble, so that's working well, and we are now able to really start to enhance our drilling operations because we want to be as efficient as possible when we come to our variable rate application. And we'll see how we get going there. It's a bit tight. It is a little tight there. Oh, there you go. We're out. Oh, did I just see... Let's see Bill and Ben back here. Well, there's one of them. Ah, hello. Welcome. You took your time?
Oh, I know. It was a good turnout and a busy sale by the end. Your father and I got stuck talking to people.
Interesting. How did we get on with the case?
Good news. The case was sold, and it's sold for a great price. It's off to a farmer and collector down in Barn Lodge. There was a bit of a bidding war by the end, with the final sale price of 15 grand.
15? Good lord. That's fantastic news. That's brilliant. And where's Bungle? Why are you on your own?
Yes, you see about that, because we got such a good price for the case. We bought a few things, and what we bought should be coming up behind me very shortly.
Bungle's coming up with something just behind. What has he done? Oh my lord. What have we got here? You only went away to go and sell a case? What's this doing here? Oh, well. Couldn't get past this. It was a great deal. Great deal. Remember when your uncle and I went to have a look at something not so long ago? Well, it was this. And we didn't think it would go for it at the time, but we'll just keep an eye on it and see what it would do in the sale. You wouldn't believe the price that we got for this. I bet I wouldn't. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything, so go on, hit me. What was it? A little bit over 12 grand for this. See, that's not a bad price, actually. That's not bad at all. It looks like it's in good nick. It would be if it was... This was Derek's, right? So it's going to be in good condition. He's going to look after it there. Oh, it looks grand. Not a bother here. It's pretty much exactly the same as the Matbro, but just in John Deere green. So it should be great. Yeah, no kidding. Well, I wasn't expecting that. Is that all you bought? Please tell me that's all you bought. No, we got something else. Your uncle will tell you about that. Oh my god. Physics gets better and better. And this isn't everything, I hear? You two can't be trusted.
No, not everything. The Kuhn plow wasn't getting much interest, so we picked that up for next to nothing. It's going to need a good service, but should be great behind your tractor.
Oh, hopefully. Oh, and speaking of my tractor, did that weight do well?
Oh, yes, you owe us 500 quid.
I owe you 500 quid for a weight set. Good lord. Oh, last time I leave you two alone to go to a sale. My word. Well, I mean, it's a lovely looking machine. We'll take it, obviously, and we'll see how we get on with it, but good god, you two. All right, well, I need to keep getting everything set up here, I suppose, and we'll see how we go. We have a new telehandler, apparently. What are we going to do with this one, by the way? We got a JCB there. What's going to happen with that?
Oh, well, we'll have to find another auction for that one.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, well. You can see, these things happen. So, folks, we've got a new telehandler, it looks like. We're going to have to get that one dressed up and sold, I suppose. And then we can get going. Right now, I'm going to get out of this blooming rain. It's almost a shame now that we didn't get to finish that the cultivation work, but that'll wait. Hopefully this will pass. What I will do for the rest of the day, though, is hook this press on and then get this drill calibrated up there and get it all ready to work. I am looking to try and find some way to transport this a little bit more safely. It is 4 meters wide. So it's too wide, really, to go on the road. You can get an escort, but it's a little bit of a tricky thing. So we'll have to see what that looks like. But for now, at least, we'll be working on all of our own ground around here, and we'll see. I might be looking to get some dual wheels delivered soon as well, so we just stick them on the rear to give us a little bit better compaction. Yeah, we will see how we get on. Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome back to My Farm and Life. I hope you all doing very, very well. You join me on what is, at the moment at least, a dry-ish September evening. As we are in our Massey, we're trying to get ahead of the drill because, surprise, surprise, I have caught up. And we have a few bits and pieces that we need to be doing over the next few days. So I thought I'd spend a couple hours plowing over some stubble and trying to get a little bit of a few acres ahead of the drill. So when we do put it back on next, I've got a good few days to run at, which is what we're looking into right now. I'm just going to stop here for a second and I'll show you what we're looking like. We are on our new plow. This is our 5-foot. Well, I say new. We picked it up at the auction. I haven't changed the metal yet, as you can see. Some of the points were looking not too great. Some of them weren't looking too bad. So we're just going to give it a few acres, see how it works, and then we can maybe look to change them after that. I just want to get a handle on how the plow's working and how to get it set up. And I'm pretty happy with it. As you can see, plow's looking pretty level across the board there. I've got it set up well, so our furrows are looking pretty even, and we're not all too bad. Massey's handling it very well, and we're just, as it's starting to get a bit darker here actually, we're just trying to tick along and get done what we can here, and I think we'll be okay. The plan being that this field here will eventually go into second wheat. This has also had lime and a bit of muck on here, which has had a chance to start getting washed in, so you can't see it too well down there, but it is there. Oh, we're putting lights on already. Now it's getting dark. And so yeah, that will be my thinking. And I'm not going to get this whole field done this evening by any stretch, nor will I probably be in it tomorrow, because tomorrow we have a bit of a plan of something, well, I haven't ever done before. But it's our plan that I think we're going to be trying to get some silage cut down tomorrow, believe it or not. Some late September, what will be third cut silage. So there's a few fields around here where the grass has just got away from us completely. So we're going to have a look into that and see how that looks, and then we'll also go up to South Healy and get a bit done up there as well. But that's what we're thinking, at least for now. So we'll see. We'll have to have a look, see how we get going there. But yeah, the mower will be going on tomorrow, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, we'll lift you up. There she goes. It's a quick plow to turn over there. It's quite a light frame plow. Certainly not one of the heaviest ones, so we'll have to see how that goes over time, and almost surprised that it hasn't worn too much or twisted in any way, but mechanically it's all great. And yes, I am using GPS. Do I need to? No, but wow, just look how satisfying it is to see arrow straight lines, not having to concentrate for it. So yeah, we're going to continue to not use GPS, or to not use GPS, I suppose. But yeah, we'll go for a few more hours, and then we'll call it. There was supposed to be a little bit of rain this evening, but I don't see it yet. And that's not even getting that damp. Everything's plowing over there quite nicely as well, so we're not really feeling the effect of that. So we'll see how it goes and continue with it. But yeah, this field is plowing over very nicely. I'm all drilled up. The field just over the fence there has already been drilled. That's got oats in it. And then the two other fields south of this farm are done. And that's everything that we have ready. The plan is to get this field plowed over. There are two on the other side of the farm to go at as well, and then the new land down at Manor Farm too. So we'll have to get into all of that over the time. But because we're starting to get a few things ready up at South Ely for a bit of silage work, Uncle hasn't really been doing too much little ploughing. So and with that smaller plough on his tractor, it is easy for me to get caught up there. So we'll have to see. So what I did today was roll those two fields that we've drilled already, and then yeah, get into the plough here and get going a little bit. And I think, hasn't been 100% confirmed yet, but I might put the mower onto here tomorrow, and just, if we do get going, and just see how it goes, just see how we get on, because why not? Why not? Okay, so around we go. It's such a smoother, quieter tractor to be plowing in. I can't tell you how much better it is. It's really delightful. Just everything I've done with this so far, it just doesn't miss a beat. It really isn't. Now, could we have done this with our other tractors? Sure, but we wouldn't have had a 5-row plow in the back, and also yeah, the 4-row drill, the 4-meter drill is just superb. Really flying through with it now. Kind of worked out some of the kinks I had with it to begin with there, and figured out what's going to be the best approach to take with it, and how it fits this tractor and how it fits my drilling style. But we've made a few changes to that, and we're great. I'm really pleased with it. So. And it took half the time almost to drill that field. It's amazing. It's only 1 meter wider, but we absolutely flew through it, which is great news. Look at that for a sunset behind us. My word, it's not just beautiful. We might try and capture a look at that when we turn around here. Straight ahead down the hill there is an old quarry that was mined years and years and years ago, decades ago. Certainly not when I was alive, but that's down there, and it's pretty deep actually, and has a bit of water in there at the moment. I'm sure there's some other wildlife going on in and around there, but nice little quiet area. And it's nice because it just allows this field to drain really well. All of our drains that we put in just go straight down that side there, and we're away. So that's nice, nice to have in our area. What we do have to be a little bit conscious about though is what it looks like for anything running off this field. You know, any herbicides, pesticides going straight into that body of water there, that is a definite no. But we shall see. Okay. Then we go one more time, and look at that for sunset. Just brilliant. We still haven't got onto those beans yet. They're not quite ready. I'm hoping that will be in a week or so, maybe. But we'll see. You know, I'm not too fussy on that one. And the combine's parked up there ready, and we can't really do anything else with it now, so it's out of the way. All of the ground up at South Healy is yet to be ploughed. Depending upon how we get on down here, I might send Uncle up there with the plough just to kind of get ahead a bit there as well. Because I got a few fields to get drilled up there too. But we have, yeah, lots to get going with anyway. So it's always good to be busy. We're just going to stop here quickly. Bam! Oh, look at that. Massey in the sunset as well. What a picture. Okay, well. You know what, I think, because like I say, I'm not in a hurry to get this plowed over this evening. I'm not going to be on the drill tomorrow. We'll probably just get to the end here. And then we can leave it there. It's just nice to get, what's this, like an hour's work clocked off and make it a little bit easier to get going with in the morning. Besides, I've been in this tractor for quite a bit today, so I can probably do with a bit of a time off, and might have to go and do some more paperwork there and get a few things on one of my apps loaded up properly so we can keep an eye on our field tracking, and then we'll be all good to go there. We have, I'm hoping, there was a ridiculous idea going around Bungle's head the other day to try and get some hay made. And that promptly reminded me that it's the end of September. That's not going to work very well, and the weather's not going to afford us that much time to make it. We haven't got a good week, but what we probably have is about 3 days of average weather. And average weather is something I can probably work with to get some silage bales made, so that's exactly what we'll look to do. You know what, I can feel actually with that plow a little bit of a change in the conditions. I think some of those wearing metals may have worn down a little bit more, so we might be seeing a little bit of a knock-on effect from that. So I guess we'll have to just keep an eye on that one and see. Anyway, let's just get ourselves taken on over here. We're going to park ourselves back up in the shed. The rollers are stuck out here by these bales just for now. One thing our yard is not is spacious, and having a lot of equipment around there, especially this time of year, is a bit annoying. So where I can, I was just in the field over the road there with the rollers, so rather than take clots of mud on over, we just shoved it back there for now. It'll be fine. It'll do a great job. And yeah, we should start to see a bit of progress with that soon, one would hope. It'll be nice. Oh Lord, let's not do that. There you go. Perfect stuff. And we're going to park up in the yard. Bungle's got a sprayer on the back of the 7810 as well. That's still his spraying tractor for now. Again, small, light, quite agile. And it's currently got dual wheels on because the ground's pretty soft in places. But, you know, he's still able to get on with what he needs to do. And yeah, let's go and park up. I'm also tempted. There's a bit of grass on that field there that it might be worth going into. Call me crazy, but, you know, it might be something we think about. Oh, cousin was just there somewhat. Didn't expect to see him around here. But yeah, we've got a few yard jobs to do around here as well. Get everything mucked out. We're probably going to be opening that pit soon, and maybe next day or so. There's the drill. Could do with a wash down already. But you can see what I mean. We're getting a bit tight here, so we'll have to see. There's our sprayer, and I'll just probably, you know, roll that over so it's out the way of the sprayer. And then we'll just stick ourselves further forward here. We'll leave taking off the plow tomorrow if that is indeed going to be a thing that we do. We've got a weight box in the front as well. We'll have a look at that in a second. Down goes the plow. All right. Look at that for a fancy weight box there. Absolutely beautiful. Love that. It fits very nicely. Same color scheme and everything. Looking great. So this little sprayer here, this is a little Schaefer sprayer on the back here as well. It's about 21-ish meters wide, I do believe. Like I said, it's on the Ford. Just does a good job. Happy with it. The issue that we may have soon is that it's not very efficient, this thing. Your ability to control the rate of application pretty much exists through the taps on there. And all you can do really, let me show you if I jump on into the cab here. All you can do really is base it off your pressure that you're putting out through that dial there. So whilst it gives you something, the ability to adjust it quickly is not there at all. Which means in this modern day when pesticides and herbicides, liquid fertilizer prices are so ridiculously high, that's not very good for me. I want to be able to have a little bit more control there. Now the other side of that is as well that if we ever looked at a new sprayer, what do we do? What tractor do we put it onto? It wouldn't be this one. You'd have to put it into a new one. So there's that to go with it. New sprays, if you're going to go for a trailed option like this, are astronomically expensive. And the other thing is, well, I can't use them because I don't have my my licensing for that yet. Bungle does it all because he's got his granddad license, as they call it. So he and uncle could do it, and they do split occasionally. But I couldn't do it, nor could cousin, without going through. I think it's is it PA1, PA4 certification, something like that. But yeah, wouldn't be for me. But you know, we'll cross that bridge at some stage. So yeah, that's the one thing. If I could update anything. Next significant expense, it would be a sprayer. I'm half in the mind of just sacking it off, selling that to someone who can probably use it as a Bowser somewhere, and then just getting a contractor in. That might be the easiest way, but you know, we will see. We'll see what that looks like. But like I say, it's getting on a bit in the evening. We've got plenty of work that we can go and do tomorrow, and we'll see if this rain comes, what that looks like, because we'll probably get the mower on if it doesn't rain. And then we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna get out of here because I'm disturbing the cattle and they're getting a bit loud, so we want to leave them to do their thing. Probably shut a few gates on my way out of here, and then yeah, we're set. Another good day down, lots happening and lots still to go. So we'll catch up in the morning and we'll see what we can get up to. All right then, so it's morning. We are about to get going with some mowing. Actually, it's a beautiful start to the day. It's lovely and sunny, but as we get going with a bit of mowing for next year's silage, we're actually going to open the pit right now and see what our current pit of silage looks like. So the plan is we're going to go around with the telehandler there, just crack open the sheet and see what we're looking like, what the pit's going to be, if it's going to be any good, and how we can expect this to go. On the front here, before we do that, we're gonna have a look at this a couple of implements that we've recently acquired, and this is not a purchase that I made or really kind of knew too much about, but it's the Robert telehandler implements really, because there's a handful of them. This is gonna be our silage grab. I don't know why we've gone for that version with the tines on. It's not gonna leave a very tidy face on the front, but we'll see how that looks. But what I do like about them is they are blooming solid. They're very well made. We've got the, like I say, the silage grab there. We've got the general purpose muck grab as well, and a slightly more, slightly smaller bale grab as well. So we're going to use these and we're going to get going with it. But for us to be able to do that, we need to open up the pit there and see what the damage is. See how well it's been compacted. There's bits that I'm not too happy about with it, to be honest, but we'll see how it goes. So let's see what this looks like. And there you have it. Maybe opened up a little bit too much here, but there it is. This is going to be the first year of silage, or the first part of silage for us really, for the winter months with our beef stock here. I don't think it looks all too bad. I don't think it's going to be, it's not quite as bad along the corners there as I thought it might be. It could have really been compacted a little bit better, but it is what it is. We'll have to see. Let's see what Bungle thinks of it as well when he gets on over here. All right then, how's that looking? You know what? I'm quite impressed. Better than I feared it would be. It's looking all right. It's dry. There's not too much mold up here at all. It smells pretty darn good. I think we'll be on for a winner. Oh, it seems so, like. Seems so. We'll have to see what it's like. Proof's in the pudding and all that. But yeah, it should make a good mix. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to fill you up with the telehandler. So if you want to go and just get in the forward there, make sure that's all rolling around. And I'll get to you in a second. Alright, right. There you bother. So in here we have a... like I say, this is grass silage. It was made around, oh geez, what would it be? Early May? I think, give or take. And what was interesting was when we were making it, we had a real good batch of great sun. A few days of really nice sun. So that was a real good starting point. So hopefully that will continue. And well, for Bellum for the next few days at least. But yeah, what that allowed was for some really sweet, nice smelling grass there. And I'm hoping that's going to really increase the sugars in here and made it into a very, very good grass for our cattle. We're not just feeding silage directly though. We are feeding silage. We're feeding a bale of hay in here already. We'll put a bit of straw in for some roughage, and we also have some mineral additive, which essentially it replaces what we would be having in there if we were to have maize growing, for example. We often have tried different things like sugar beet in the past there as well. We don't have any of that growing at the minute. We've tried a few different things. They've mixed results, to be honest, but that is the whole concept, at least in the plan. So I think that's emptied out there. We'll stick another load in there. So yeah, the idea being that we get a nice, varied, high-calorie, high dry matter diet for these cattle, with lots of proteins in there, because ultimately we want these fellas to put on a bit of weight. And that's going to be perfect. So that's the whole premise, and that's the whole plan. And we'll have to just keep monitoring it and see. We have frequent conversations with our meal rep, who comes over just to make sure everything's good and see how we're getting on with our cattle, with weight production, and just to see if we need to change anything. That's not all quite out there, but yeah, that by doing so we're able to really adjust what the currently the diet is. And what we can get. Obviously, we want to be able to achieve maximum results for the less financial inputs that we can. In an ideal world, we'd probably look to grow some more of our own crops and to be able to facilitate this. But really, when you think about it, we haven't got the space or the clamp space to grow maize. Literally nowhere to tip it. Again, similarly, I don't have anywhere I could store beet that will keep it nice and dry and out the way. Like I don't even have a hard stand anywhere really, so that would be a bit of a non-starter as well. So all these different things you have to kind of consider, and so it's a bit of a tricky situation for us. So we're always trying to see if we can find a better solution, but we're just not there yet. Let me know if you've had to do anything similar there, and if what you're currently using the feed up with. But that's what our plan is, or that's what we continually run into in terms of problems. So we'll see. Grab though seems to be working pretty well. It's always a bit of a messy start when you're opening the pit up for the first time, but we will get going. And the great new thing is about when we get through that pit there, it gives us a little bit more space to park machinery in. This yard is becoming the biggest machinery parking lot I've ever seen, so we really need to get finished with some work down here so we can get some of this park back up at South Healy out the way. But we'll get this all loaded up anyway. We're just about there with the silage, I reckon. Maybe one more. And okay, let's try and get that corn done a bit there. Okay. So yeah, we'll be feeding our ration here. Still going with the twice daily. Get them fed up there. It's easier for us to keep an eye on it. Our mix is small, so rather than fiddling around twice, trying to fill it up in each yard there, we can just go for two separates and get a better outcome there. So it's exactly what we'll look to do, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we have had the conversations about maybe looking into a new or a good used mixer next year, especially if we're going to continue with the cattle. And having cattle across two different yards is not ideal. It's a minefield to try and get them all to feed everything in the morning there, but that's an expense that we absolutely cannot afford to take today or this year. So we will see. We've got land, a combine to finish paying off for. We've got land leases to sort out and to pay for, and well, this John Deere loader appeared, didn't it? So there's that to consider in there as well. All right, one thing I'd like would be a sunroof, something that would give me just a little bit of an option to see what's happening up there. Anyway, we'll get this all loaded up, and then we'll see how it goes with the feeding. I think that's going to be me pretty much done here. Let's just shut that down, and then we're going to take this off. Undo those hoses there. We'll leave Bungle to get that all fed up, and then what I'll do, I think I'm going to want to get past him there, and then we'll put the bale fork on. That's what we'll do. We're going to have to get a bale of hay into the sheep there as well. Okay, so you can hear the mixer is going. We're gonna let that mix through. It's a tub mixer, so it does mix everything up quite well from the bottom and get it all spinning, but it's just one massive big cone kind of blade in there, which will do fine for us. We've had that for a while though. It's doing well. Like I say, it's just the size is becoming the issue, so we'll need to keep an eye on that and see. But we'll finish up down here. Bungle will then probably take that up to South Healy to do the same up there. And then whilst we're up there, drop the feeder wagon off, and I'm gonna go and start mowing up there probably as well. We'll get a few fields done up there, so he'll get the tedder on the back, I would imagine, and then the bale is already up there. Put the rake onto a tractor as well and get ourselves set up. We do have some spraying that we'd like to do. Don't hit that, but it's a little breezy right now. There you go. So we're just gonna hold off on that until we see what this wind's gonna do, and see if it will just quieten off at all, because it's, yeah, like I say, a little bit too breezy to get on with that right now. But you will see, and you'll have seen it earlier on there, that the sprayer is ready to go, parked around the corner. And this is what I mean, there's just not enough space in this yard right now. We're a victim of our own growth here at the minute, and it's just something that this yard always seemed plenty big enough back in the day, and I could do everything I needed to. But right now, God, I mean, I got plows just parked and perched really around the corner. The yard's full of drills and cultivators and tractors and mowers. Still, at the end of the day, gotta get around there and feed everything somehow. But we're just gonna put another bale into the sheep here, and then we'll see. As you can see, even the sheep field, the grass is growing very, very well. And it's not the only thing. Let me show you something else that's happened as well recently. Just started to notice this emerging in the last day or two. Out of the way, sheep, move. Okay, so having a lot of sheep down here makes it an awful lot easier to feed everything. Watch my pen. And we'll just have to stick this about there. Now, I'm going to trust that if I put a new bale there, they're not going to come after me or even my open gate in a while. Because look at over here. We just come on over to the side of the sheep pasture. Our crops are starting to emerge. We are having our barley coming through, and also the field of oats is starting to come through as well, which is great to see. Really looking well, looking like a great crop there so far, even if I do say so myself. Straight through those double gates there is the cover crop that we put in as well. So I'm really, really pleased we got that up before too much torrential weather. When you have that crop in there, that root structure starting to grow and everything's emerging through, really does help with that soil structure. So I'm very, very pleased about that. And yeah, looking like a great start. What we'll do is park out here, shut that there gate again. Okay. And so we're gonna just pot around. We'll get these all fed up here, and then we'll see how that goes. And we're probably gonna come back actually, I think, and give a bit more of an in-depth review once we see how it's all going and see what those benefits are. We'll do a bit more of a cattle roundup at some stage, because I want to go and show off how the cattle are growing over at the satellite yard as well. Grass-wise, it's actually not dry to walk through. It's looking pretty good. It's getting a little bit leafy. So we want to get in, and this field we will be getting to today, I do think. I might go and just start up at South Healy though, and we'll just get things taken care of up there. Just to see what's going on and get a few things taken control of, and we'll see how we're going. So, yeah, just to wrap up a few things down here, and then it's time to get some third cut silage on the deck. Well, there you go. October silage, third cut, knocked down, looking all right. This field's a little bit lighter than I maybe thought it would be, but hey, it's in, it's done. We can move on. Another lovely experience mowing with this, I must say, but we are gonna get a bit more done. We're going to, well, there's a few fields up here we'll do. I'm not too sure what the quality is gonna be like with this silage, so I don't think we'll go too crazy in terms of how much we actually cut down. And we'll just take ourselves out this gateway, straight down over the ford. And then there go and see. Bungle should be on his way up here some point soon with a feeder. And you'll be able to get that going. Then we'll get the... I mean, it's dry right now. Oh, this is tighter than I thought. So we want to probably throw this grass around a little bit, put the tether on, get it thrown out, and then let it air out for a day. And like I say, it's supposed to be great tomorrow as well. Oh, look at that piloting. That's just superb. So we'll try and do that and aim for tomorrow, I should think. which will give Cousin a bit of time just to tinker on with his baler there. I think he wants to do. And then we're golden and we can get going. So that will be the hope. Let's make sure I don't crack the baler off everything. There's always a little bit of a squeeze as we have to just squeeze our way through here. I think we've got it perfect. Take our time. I'm not going to do this little meadow here. That grass is not very good, especially not for silage. So we're going to leave that. And then we'll go up to the farm, I think, and we'll focus up there for now. Reason we're starting up here and not when we had the mower down at the other yard is a couple of reasons, but primarily everything else is up here. Balers up here, rakes up here, wrappers up here. So rather than shift everything down and shift it all back up, it just made sense to get this all knocked down first. And then once this is done, then we can take what we need back down to Bellum. Combine's parked up. Obviously haven't been able to touch that since we finished over there. I'm hoping that we can get into those beans relatively soon, but you just never know. Awesome. Now we cut silage. We've actually cut 2 cuts of silage off this little front paddock here, and now the sheep have gone from up here. I might look into doing a bit in the back there as well, I think, just to get on top of that. It's been a while since the sheep were moved from there, so that would make a lot of sense. So we might just have a look, see if that's going to be possible, I think. Just to get it started with over there, and that'll be a good area to go with. Oh, easy space. Alright, let's go and see Cousin, see what he's doing. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm not doing too bad, thanks. What's going on?
We're up here to get a bit of silage cut down. I'm thinking, do we do the paddock in the back where we used to have the sheep? Is that worthwhile, do you reckon?
That's not a bad idea. It has some decent growth to it. I don't think there's been any sheep on there for about 8 to 9 weeks now.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We might as well go and have a blast with it and give that one last going over. And then it's quite dry, actually. The grass that we just knocked down by the entrance there to the farm, that's pretty dry. So I'm hoping. I don't know what you think about this. Maybe we throw it around a bit today and it should be good to go for tomorrow.
That's surprising for this time of year. We can get the tedder brought back up from Bellum.
It is, yeah. No, it is. We'll have to get that up. Maybe we can get Bungle to do it. He's coming up with the mixer now, so we can get everything fed up here. But then he can maybe get onto that and throw that, follow me around, throwing everything out.
That sounds like a plan. I've got to service the baler up following the straw. A few tines to replace and chopper knives to sharpen.
Okay, no problem at all. What's Uncle doing? Is he around?
I think he's starting to feed up, waiting for your dad to arrive.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right, excellent. Well, I am going to get going. Put this tractor to use. I'll probably start in the back there, actually, see how we get on. Keep an eye out for pedestrians. We'll see.
Sounds good. Have fun.
All right, laters. I'm also going to need that shifting trailer back down at ours at some point there. We've got to get the cattle mucked out there, and we probably... Yeah, they're going to need mucking out here again as well. Always lots to do. It's never a dull moment there. We'll have to just see how that all comes together. Yes, we'll get through here. Gates over behind the farmhouse in the corner. That farmhouse used to belongs to the farm. It used to be for the farm workers back in the day when we needed them. We used to have 2 working for us. And then when they subsequently either left or retired, they weren't replaced. We just found ways to make it work. And obviously with myself and my cousin coming on board there, that was a lot of work that we could take on. So that'll be good. Now, my only problem with this field is that there's a very popular footpath going right through the middle of it. So we'll have to see how many people I have to avoid. But that being said, there's a bit of grass here. Again, some of it's nearly going ahead in places, so it might not be the best quality, but it's going to just be wasted otherwise. And the silage that we make, we probably won't feed it straight away, but it'll be there for us if we need it in an emergency or for someone to get it. Here, I've been seeing and hearing stories that there have been, some farmers out there who are desperate with poor years last year and even the start of this year. Just don't have much fodder of any sort at all, really. So yeah, we'll have to see what that looks like. Okay, let's just get this unfolded. All right, and away we go. Hopefully, mower's mowing. That's looking good. All right, well, let's just see how we get on here. I haven't done much in this field in a long time, to be honest. It's always had a sheep in it, so I haven't really had to touch it too much, but used to get very wet in this corner, so we'll see how that goes. But good amount of grass on here, like I say, so we will see how we get going. And I think that's an old derelict shed right in front of us here, so we're probably just going to swing around the corner of that on this side and just stay away from that, because it's pretty bumpy on the other side, and it's just a bit of a waste of time trying to squeeze through there. And then there'll be a tree to contend with, and we'll see. But otherwise, yeah, let's just hang up here. Lovely little cottage down there, actually. Very nice. Okay. Yeah, we'll just go around there as well. Oh, there's another one. We'll just stop for you there. Hello. You're on a mission. Good Lord. Power walkers around here today. There are an annoyingly large amount of different poles in here as well, but I think what we'll do, because this bit over here is rough and a bit rig and furrow down in this corner as well, so we might not take that bit, and we will just swing it on up here along the side of the buildings past the old cattle pens. A little bit of sorting pens here that we have to use now and again to get everything going, but otherwise it's not a bad shape of field here. And then that'll be us. We'll get this field down. We'll get the other side of the paddock done there as well. And we'll have to reconvene with the committee to see if they want us to do anything else in terms of the fields towards the village. But we will, like I say, we can check in on that one. I don't think we will. But, you know, more is more really when it comes to silage. We'll have to see where we're going to stack all this and put a little bit of it in that stack yard there. But there's not a great deal of space. But otherwise, that's pretty much going to be it here for right now, and we will just see how we get going. That is headland number 1 done and done. And yeah, like I say, not a bad looking swath off here. We're going to try and get everything knocked down, thrown around, baled up, and wrapped up very quickly, and then it'll all be probably focusing our attention to back to cultivations and soybeans when they're ready to go. And Massey is shining like you'd expect it to, of course, because it is a Massey. But I am going to go and probably grab a cup of coffee or tea, really. Now I've got myself moved up here, one field done. It is that time to get a sandwich. Probably knock off the tractor first before we do that. That's not a bad plan. Hello everybody, welcome back to My Farming Life, and good evening to you all. It's a beautiful sunny evening here in October. Uncle is over there. He's just ploughing out his headland. And then that's another field ploughed ready for me. I am finishing off some beans, the last of the harvest. We're about done with it, which is an absolute godsend because I just want this done now. I need a trailer, so we're going to pop around the corner here. It's only going to be maybe 7 or 8 ton, not much at all, but we've got to take it off the combine some way, somehow. So we're going to load up here. We're going to use the Ford 7810, just going to drop this trailer off, and then we'll be good. And hopefully, all being well, we'll get ourselves finished up this evening, and then the combine can stay there until we're ready, because I'll be back on the drill soon. We've got a lot to do in the next few days. We are rapidly approaching the middle of October, which means we are very close to the slurry ban, so we need to be able to get in some slurry out onto our better draining fields, so we can actually get in there and empty the tanks a little bit. So we need to do that first before we start drilling anymore, but we will be doing a bit of both. Uncle's cracking on with a bit of work there. Bungle is, well, we'll get into what Bungle's doing tomorrow because it's not ideal news, and it leads into why I'm in the 7810 as well, as we are just experiencing a little bit of an issue, I think, with the 7740. Let's leave it that way. And I'm not quite sure the depths of that issue yet, but we'll find out tomorrow. That's a field full of weeds, but it's plowing over okay there, I think. So we'll see how we go. A lot of weeds up here. We need to get a lot more fields plowed over here, but Uncle's working on that slowly. I've got a little bit more down to do at Bellum as well, and we're hoping that we can, or I can at least get a bit more drilled in the next few days once we get the slurry out. Be on the slurry tomorrow, I think, and then we'll see. My Massey is currently attached to the drill, so we can't bother to unhook that for what we'll be doing. I'll probably take the 3125, I think, if there's a gap to take it, to get that last little bit of slurry out, and then we'll be all good. But today we're on the beans. Our first time really with beans in a long time, and so far I think it's going through relatively okay. You know, I'm fairly happy with it all, and yeah, we'll see how it goes as we continue here. We've just got a tiny field up here. It's maybe 8 acres if we're good, if we're lucky, and we'll see if we can, you know, I'm not really too concerned about the tonnage we get off here. The main aim for the beans is just to restore the quality of the field. And this field up here was a bit of a test case for us, really, just to see how we got on. You'll see at the satellite field at the farm here with the cattle, there are some silage bales. Let's just stop ourselves here. We're going to go into there. Had to come back up and get the drop the header trailer off there. Yeah, we've got some silage bales. We finished the third cup. This trailer is about goosed, for the nicest way of putting it. It has not handled carton bales up here very well. The suspension's gone on it, the brakes were locking on, and well, the floor's shot as well. So that is probably the last work that's done for us, I think. But yeah, bales are stacked. We stacked these ones up here mainly because there wasn't enough space over at South Healy, and also just to have them a bit closer. So they'll be grand there, and then we'll be looking okay there. Rest of them all being stacked up at either South Healy, in and around. We ran out of the black wrap that we were using at one point, so we got I don't know, maybe 12 or so in this bright shiny white, but we'll see if that's going to be any different. But it shouldn't make a difference really. Now, we're not going to get in here, are we? So what we'll do is just move ourselves around. I've got a headland done already. Let's get the combine out the field, out the gateway, and get ourselves in. So that should be all good. They're still a little bit damp, but we're in October. Realistically, they're not going to get any drier for us in this current state. So I figured we'll just get them done, stick them into a trailer, take them up to Northumberland Grain Services when we can, and then we'll let them just run them through the dryer there as well. We've still got a trailer load of, well, the last of the wheat in a trailer load to go as well, so we'll have to see. But yeah, that's a rainy day job for us, I would say. We'll just stick this into here for now, and then we'll be all good. And park you up here. So yeah, like I say, the beans are all good to go. Now with this, like I say, it is a break crop here. It's designed to bring a bit of soil fertility and increase the fertility there, increase the nitrogen specifically. When they dry off there are a very nice green luscious crop, but when they're brown and dead like this is when you come in to harvest them. In theory, the beans themselves should be nice and large, and then the shells are nice and easy to shed really. Now, what you don't want though is when it gets damp, these beans actually take on a bit more moisture, so we're trying to avoid that, which we should be able to do. Last outing for the combine here, then it'll be a blow down and then put back into the shed. But yeah, had to change a few things, distance of the sieves, fan pressure, that sort of good stuff, but we're looking all right. I need to go back a little bit here so I can get in properly. And then we are away. Weather has pretty much been okay. Thankfully, we didn't have too much to do when this year around. That load's going to increase by next year though for sure. And it's good that we didn't have that much because the rain has been very hit and miss and very patchy there. So it did delay us a little bit. But ultimately, you know, we got it all in, we got it all done, so can't complain too much there. And we've got the capacity to go up a bit as well. Easily take on another 100 acres without any fuss. So over the next year, we will probably be taking on about that much, really. There's 2 fields down at Manor Farm already, and there'll be more coming. We've got a few decisions that we're trying to make right now and a few curveballs that we weren't anticipating. So we're going to have a chat about that one over the coming year, couple of weeks, really, I would guess, because we'll have to get a plan in place. But our current plan, for our crop rotation at least, is to go barley, then oats, then we'll go beans, and then we'll go first wheat, second wheat, linseed, and then depending upon what we decide is our plan, we might put a root crop in there as well, maybe sugar beet or something, just because we want to be able to produce our own sugar beet, and we want to be able to reduce our costs for raising our cattle and fattening our cows, because, well, there goes a deer. Oh, you bugger, that was close. We want to be able to, yeah, like I say, make as much profit as we can by producing our beef, and then one way to do that is to reduce the number of imports that we have to bring in at quite an astronomical price. So if we can do that, then we are laughing. But there's a few decisions that need to be made around that one, and you know, which fields and drainage on those fields and what that'll look like after pre and post. So we'll see. We don't have any equipment to establish and or harvest sugar beet right now, so that's something else. But all of that will be decided upon at some stage, and we'll see. Right now, all we need to do is clear this last field off, and then we're all looking good. I think we've only got about a ton in the back there at this moment in time. It's really not that much, but you know, I don't mind. I just want this field done. This end of our farmland, at least, is quite small fields, a lot of small and fiddly fields to get around. And then when you get closer down to Bellum there, they certainly do get a lot larger. But we will... That's why you can't really go for a bigger combine than the one we've got here. Matter of fact, getting this combine over the bridge to this field is pretty difficult. So it's... Anything bigger than this, and we would have landed ourselves in quite a bit of trouble there. I'm fairly sure of that. But we are, yeah, doing pretty well, making some good progress. So... The elephant in the room, really, I suppose, is the 7810s on carton duties, with the 3125 being on the plow and my Massey being stuck on the drill. We would usually use the 7740 to do any road work, because it's got the 40k box in there. It's a bit more comfortable as well. Oh, the deer around here. Oh, suicide mission today. We were doing a little bit of work with the Ford yesterday, carting a bit of muck out there actually, and we were as Dad was driving it, Bungle was driving it there. He noticed that we were losing a lot of power from the engine. Wasn't really doing much at all of anything, and then it started to splutter and splatter a bit, and then it really started to sound very poor, and it a lot of almost bluey gray color smoke coming out there, which is never a good sign. Looks like a sign of burning a lot of oil in the engine there, which is not good. So we pulled it off the trailer, and it's currently sat in the yard there where I've got Bungle, and maybe one of the fitters will be out soon to, and I think Cousin might be down there a bit today, just taking care of the cattle down there as well. And they're going to be looking into it and see what that looks like and what was the cause of that, really. It's a surprise. I mean, yes, it's an older tractor for sure, but it's never given us an issue at all. So we will to see what that looks like, really. I'm not sure what that's going to be, and I'm sure I'll find out when we get a bit more of an answer. But yeah, so we're down in a machine, down in a tractor right now, which is not ideal. We can do so much with a 7810, but I would like something a bit faster. I can take the Massey off the drill, but it's just a hassle to do that, and we might well end up doing that if Uncle's going to keep pushing ahead with the plowing. But we'll have to see. You know what? We'll just take one more little pass off here, just square this off. All right. That's 4 back there. Oh, we're getting over the glass. We're looking good. Not much left here at all, and we'll get this all done and dusted. I'll probably leave the combine in the corner there for this evening. Get that out of the way. Maybe bring in the header trailer, and then yeah, we can just knock this on the head. Harvest 2024 in the books. And we are with our beans here. We're not going to bale the straw for it, make terrible straw bean stalks. We're just going to get this all shredded, and I'm trying to think about the idea of getting a set of discs or some kind of cultivator with this combination I can put in the back of the 3-point, and see if we can incorporate this stubble a little bit more. Dear Lord, the deer around here on this absolute tear. And yeah, I'd like to try and incorporate that a little bit more, because I think it'll be really beneficial to our overall soil health, getting a bit more organic matter incorporated back in. But gotta do a little bit of looking around there. Gonna see a few dealers and see how much they want to give us, or how much they want to charge us, because no doubt it's going to be astronomical for anything like that these days. Any new equipment, the price is just eye-watering. We've tried our best where we can not to buy new, just for that exact reason, but sometimes secondhand you just can't find what you need. Oh, there we go. That's me about 80%, I think it is. Maybe even actually less. Maybe it's 50. I think it looks like it could be 50. All right, and it's nice to get done. I know a lot of farmers in this area. Still a lot of wheat on the ground, let alone beans. It's been a bit wet for them, and it's just been stuck. So it's a nightmare here for some of them. Us, I mean, we've been really lucky with the work that we've got. We're in the position now with the farm whereby we have a lot of workers, a lot of tractor drivers available when we need them. The 4 of us really for not too much work right now. Now that's great in one respect, but also means that we're not being very efficient with our operations. So the more land that we bring in on board there, then that will obviously change. But yeah, it does mean when we're in a pinch and the weather's good, we can strike and get quite a lot done at once. And which we've done. Happy to get that silage done as well on the ground. That was worth it. And yeah, we've got plenty in the tanks on reserve if we should need it. But bar a few little straddlers here and there, we might just get this one that I can see. Here you go. Little patch at the end there. That's us done. Harvest in the books. Who would have thought it? On our new combine as well. It's the first time around for me being the combine driver as well. That's rather cool. Good to get that done without any drama. He stays. You should probably wait to finish this field before I mention that. Alright then. Knocked my indicator on. Alright, we'll get that out and then let's oh, we're not gonna have much in here at all, but we'll tip it. And then we'll probably just go park in the corner there for now out of the way. Combine can wait to be removed from this field till I haven't got anything else to do, until I'm all caught up with the drilling. It should be alright and safe out of the way, no one will see it, I hope. And we'll come back and get it. This road's fairly quiet up here anyway. Alright then, and we're tipping. Let's have a look and see what this looks like for us here. It won't be too much as I mentioned. Oh, that's clean sample, that's good. It's maybe, good lord, maybe 4 ton in there. Not ideal from this field, but in the reality that we didn't do too much with it once it was put in. Didn't put too much on the inputs there, so it was just kind of left. So that is probably to be expected. Low input costs at least, so that's good. And then hopefully our fields will benefit from it moving forward. And this will go into a wheat. And we'll see how we get on. But for right now, at least this is going to get parked over here in the corner. We'll fold up the tank as well. There we go. Done for now. Done and done. I'm going to take this forward back. We'll go and park this trailer in the old sheep shed at South Healy with the other one, which is half full. And then we'll see what we can get up to and see what the day brings for today. It's probably just going to be tinkering on. I might actually come back and maybe take the header off the trailer, off the combine. But we will just get a few little bits and pieces done there. And then it'll be feeding up this evening. We're going to have to move this tractor around to go and do that because the Ford's not free, so we'll have to do a little bit of shuffling around, but we'll get it all done anyway, and we will move on. So we will catch up tomorrow. Probably bring you a bit of an update with the state of the 7740. Lord knows what I'll find by the time I get back down to see that one. I'm not expecting much. Well, folks, we are pushing ahead. There's a lot to do today. We need to start by just getting the sheep some hay, and then we're going to have a look and see what the fitters do. And the fitter is here. We also need to tidy up a few pallets of wool we have left over here as well. So I have to get onto that one. Let's move that back ever so slightly. And then we'll just drop these here, I think. All being well. And another bale stuck. There we go. So yeah, keeping the sheep fed up there. The fitter's been here for a little bit and he's working with Bungle on the Ford 7740. And it is not looking great so far. And they're tearing it apart pretty quickly to see what's going on. And we'll have to see what the outcome is. I don't think they fully know yet, but we will find out. Let's get that shut, I suppose. I am going to use my Massey on the slurry tank. It's just easier. Get Uncle pushing ahead with some plowing over at South Healy there. You can see the trailer that was just dumped in the field. We started to tip muck down the corner there, and then things went wrong from there to there, and then the trailer was dropped off and the tractor was towed around the corner to where it's resting now. So we will have to see. For now, let's just stick this out the way here, I reckon. Get this lot fed up when the tractor comes down. There you go. But yeah, so what we're finding at the minute is that we are in a little bit of a pickle. Everything is in pieces right now. We're going to leave the... we've got a fitter here as well. I believe the young man's name is Nathan. He's going to keep cracking along. And yeah, it's not looking good. What's Bungle saying over here? Where's he gone? Bungle, what have we done? What's happened? Oh, bloody catastrophe. That's what's happened. What do you mean? Is that really that bad? Can we tell already? Well, it's looking that way. Looks like we're going to crack on the engine block at the very least. And with that, that's when we start to lose our pressure and our performance and power. And it looks like the engine may have seized on us. Ooh. That's not great. So what are we doing? Just tearing it all down and see what the damage is? Aye, at the minute. See if it can be salvaged, anything in the engine there, or if it's going to be a full rebuild, or what that's going to look like. And Nathan here will go and find out the cost for that. And see if it's even salvageable. Not looking good at the minute though. Oh Christ, okay. Well, I'm going to leave you to it on that cheerful note, and I will come back to see if we can get any more news. But yeah, it looks like you got a lot of unpacking to do there still. Alright, it's going to be a bit of a day for us here. We'll have to see if we can get it figured out. And then, well, we'll have to have a chat to see if we can actually save this or not, unfortunately. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of a job. Yeah, no kidding at all. Well, I'll go spread some slurry then. Uncle's just going to keep pushing on with the plow, I guess, with his with the 3125. So I will just keep going down here. Whilst we're due rain tomorrow, so I want to get as much on now as I can. Aye, that makes sense. Good idea, good idea. Keep pushing on. We'll have to see if this is going to be a big project. We'll have to see about hiring in a machine just to keep us going, I think. Yeah, might need another set of wheels. Anyway, I'll let you go. We'll figure that one out, and then I will we'll make that decision when we have to. But I would agree it's not looking great for now about using this anytime soon. But let me know, and we'll see where it goes. Aye, son, will do. Oh, that was cheerful. Lovely stuff. Happily, I have my tractor here that I can get growing with. Tank is all hooked up, and we are going to go out into the grass field and just put some slurry out into there and see what we can get done today. We will take it just from here, and then we might end up going up to South Ely as well, just spread some on the ground that we recently cut over there as well, because why not? Let's make sure we're not going to ding the pillar of the shed there. We're good. All right. Then we need to get this set up. And yeah, so we have a few days left before the ban ends, in which we can actually continue to spread, which is good. And so we are going to empty out from here, and we're just going to take it straight over the road there, like I mentioned. See how much we can get into here. I'm not anticipating we'll get everything covered by any stretch, but it'll be good just to give us a bit of a breathing space, because from now it will be through till, what is it, February? So, yeah, we'll have a bit of a break there. So, this will be great for us. Oh, we're full. And this will just give our tanks a little bit of space. We don't have the biggest space there. There's plans and discussions in place about really turning on the emphasis for our for the work that we're doing with the beef cattle and the young beef stock particularly. So there are discussions around another calf building down here. There's a few grants that we can look into as well that we might well do to see if we can save a significant amount of money on that. So we will just have to see. Now what I'm going to do is do a bit of... so let's see. Got my GPS set here. Let's just get ourselves programmed in. That should be us good to go there. And then if I... There we go. It looks like our GPS is on. And now we need to change our pump. I don't think I did that. So let's change that over to empty. There you go. That changes the valve over. And we should be good to go. Let's find out. Maybe dial down our speed ever so slightly. GPS is in, and we are spreading. Perfect stuff. You dial that down a bit more. There you go. So yeah, we're only at this point of the year, we're only allowed to go into certain soil types, as long as it's not too light. So we're not doing that. We're on the heavier stuff that we have here. A lot of the ground around here is nothing but heavy, so that should be fine. And yeah, we will see how much we get covered. Just give this ground as much natural fertilizer as we can there, without having to spend too much on the man-made stuff. So that'll be good. We're gonna have an increased fertilizer bill this year for sure anyway, because of the new ground that we've picked up. So where we can save on things like this, then I'm absolutely all for it. Yeah, it seems to be doing okay. We will get a little bit covered here and there, and then we should be laughing really. So yeah, so as I mentioned, grants or something that we're looking into. I have an idea of what I want to do down here. It's just ready whether or not I can get the buy-in from the committee, really, as I call them, and the cost of it all as well, because that would be possibly a significant expense there. So we'll have to see, but there are ideas afoot, at least, let's say that much, and we will see how that comes together. But otherwise, yeah, we're just going to see how it goes. The beef cattle that we have up at South Healy and up at the satellite shed are doing well, so there is good scope there. And let's just knock that off here, and we'll turn around. But yeah, I just don't know if we want to really up those numbers just yet. I'm a fan of doing it now whilst we can, but we'll see. Have to see what the others think. All right, and away we go again. Nice and easy job for the tractors today. The drill will be going back on. It's supposed to be a bit wet tomorrow and the day after, so we'll see if we get any drilling done then. I would like to get a little bit more in the ground. There's certainly some opportunity to. I am one field behind Uncle down here, which is that field over there where the bales are stacked. I finished plowing that one over. Uncle's got a couple done up at South Healy there as well. So he's flying. There's these two big fields here, and we'll have to get on top of that. Some of these might well put into a cover crop of some sort, but we'll see. We'll just have to see what that rotation looks like. Because some of the barley we can put into spring barley if the weather's not quite right for it now. Certainly not having oilseed rape in this rotation is a bit of a breather for us, to be honest. It's a little bit easier to handle, so we'll see if that will continue. A lot less stress on the initial establishment, that's for sure. Perfect, and then we go. So yeah, in these two fields we did okay for silage bales. They all got hauled up. We are, like I mentioned earlier on, having to look for a new trailer. That was the end of the old trailer there, so it's just the bills just keep coming, and the expenses and the new machinery. So it's another thing for us to look into there, and we'll figure out what that looks like. We don't necessarily need one urgently right now, but before next spring, because we do a lot of hauling the bales and bits like that, so I'll have to find something. But yeah, we will very much see how that goes. Yeah, for a third cut, quality was okay, but again, it was third cut silage, so we'll make it work. So that's the first load done and dusted. We'll just go and refill this one up and rinse and repeat, really. I'm not sure how much is in here. Maybe a couple of loads out, but you know, we'll take what we can. We are going to put muck into this field at some point as well, because I think we might look to reseed this in the next year or two. So we'll just start to load a little bit of muck up here from the cattle shed here. Get around that corner. We'll probably have to back our way in here a little bit. Nice and easy, does it? Driving around like a boss. Absolutely delightful work. We'll just sneak around there. Must say, having a slightly bigger tractor available for this kind of stuff is rather nice, I must admit. Okay, put that back into neutral there. Connect everything up, and then we will load up for a second time. Right, number 2 done. Nice and easy. Okay, we'll need to pop the valve around again. And perfect. So this is pretty much going to be my evening now. We'll crack on. We'll get a bit more of this covered. And then, well, we'll speed everything up down here, do a bit of tidying up. There's a few things that we need to get tied up with some of the livestock pens as well, so I might do that for a little bit this afternoon once we get this all emptied. And then maybe drive this one up to South Healy so we can empty out those tanks up there as well. But yeah, it's all around this really. My main concern right now is what Bungle discovers with young Nathan there around the 7740, because that could change a lot of plans if we have to figure out a new machine or a replacement machine or even a significant repair cost, so God only knows. So we'll see. We will bring you more updates as and when we know, but for right now at least we're just going to keep pushing through. It's nice out there though. It's a nice start to the day, nice sunny morning, so if I can even get on the drill this afternoon, life will be great. And we'll have to see if that's possible, but anyway, we'll keep persevering and cracking on. Good on, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my farm and life. It's late in the evening. We are pushing to get some drilling done because the rains are coming tomorrow. So I'm trying to get the last of the oats here at Moor Farm in the ground. I've got Bungle somewhere over there. Can't quite see me. He's in the hired voucher, trying to get a bit of ground ahead of me done. We won't get onto all of everything that he's plowing over now, but it'll be good to have it turned over anyway. Uncle is away out with the roller over at South Healy on the ground that we recently drilled over that way, and I am about halfway through this field drilling oats. We just need to top up before we finish this field off and then get on into our onto the headlands there as well. So we'll just bring out the next bag of seed. Easy does it. There you go. And we'll see. But yeah, we're flying along. It's looking all well and good. Ground conditions, as you can see right now, are still pretty good. Stony as heck over here. These fields really need to have some work done on them at some stage, but that stage is not now. What we do need to do is just get this all completed, really. And I think we are about done there. Yeah, so we'll keep this up here because I feel like by the time I get into the headland I can probably get the rest of this in. But yeah, what we're going to do is crack on really for the evening. We'll be bringing you a bit more of an update as soon as we can in the daylight. But like I say, needs must. It is about, 7:30, 8 o'clock at night here, end of October. And it's, yeah, just now really time for us to get going and see what we can get done here. That's up. Get the rest of the big lights on there, and away we go. So yes, like I say, so far so good. We haven't had anyone going ahead of me here. Honestly, just didn't feel like we needed it, to be brutally honest with you. And I think we're just trying to see how we can get going. And yeah, I'm quite content with it right now. My aim is to get this all done before the end of the day, and I think we should be okay with that. I'm a bit further down. I've got around the corner down here somewhere. My GPS is all still aligned and set up there, so yeah, we'll be able to just keep cracking along. And then yeah, hopefully we won't get a roll tonight. We'll have to wait to see what the rain does and see where we can get that in. But you know, ultimately everything else is looking pretty good. There you go. Look at that, straight off. There you go. We're in. We're on. We need to just dial down my speed a little bit. This should be a tramline row as well, and then we will get going. Let's just give ourselves a bit more of a room there to start with. Alright, press down. Drill down. And we're off. It's a bit of a sneaky field, this one. Large hill in the middle of it, which can slow you down if you don't tackle it properly. But main concern I have is look at the stones on the surface there. We need to look in to see what that's going to look like for us over the next few years. The roller will push some of those down, we should be fine, but there's a lot to contend with. So we will have to see what that looks like. Somewhere up ahead, can't see any lights there yet, but there is a bungle up there somewhere. And he's probably about halfway through plowing that field over. That one's going to be put into 2 different fields. We're going to put some root crops in there, and we're going to put some spring barley, I think, as well. So that likely will mean that we'll put a cover crop or something until springtime, but we will tackle that as and when we can. GPS is knocked out there for a moment, a little bit early, but let's lift up our front, then we'll get ourselves away. So yeah, we are going to continue with this all evening into the pitch black, and then we'll join up with you as well when we can probably review this and see how we're getting on in some daylight. Well, good morning, folks. It's a little bit later on than when we last spoke to you. It's about a week or so later, and I've just come to check out some of the drilling, and my word has it shot up. We're about 7 or 8 days later. It's fully established now. Good lord, it's absolutely flowing. And I am very pleased. It's a crop of oats. Small field here, but it is in. We were able to get this established. We got a lot of the drilling done up here. And now we've just got stuff down at Bellum to do. So very, very pleased with this. It's looking nice and clean as well. No weeds that I need to be too concerned about. So that is all very good. We're just going to take a little bit of a drive over as well. Field over the hedge here on our left is linseed, so that should all be in and looking good. And then we've got oats over the trees there as well. So yeah, really pleased actually. Could have gone in better conditions. But ultimately we got it in, and I don't think it's looking all too bad at the minute. Hurdleless fence, there you go. Yeah, look at that. Looking tremendous there. Really, really happy. So we've got a couple of fields of linseed on the go. They are our break crops. Just try and give the ground a little bit of a better root hold, and also just to cycle through from a replacement for oilseed rape, really. So that should be good. That one's all looking very handy there. It's a beautiful day. We are November now, flying along. So we've got a little bit of winter tillage work that we're still doing. Uncle's actually out there at the moment. We're going to follow up with him because he's in the voucher that we still have for another week or two. So he is cracking along. We'll see what he thinks, if he's stopping. And Bungle's doing some things that we're going to touch on very shortly as well, but that is slightly more concerning. But anyway, still a lot of grass around here as well. But everything's drilled up here that I want to get done. There's 2 fields up the hill there, which we'll be doing in the well, coming up in the spring. And then yeah, the ground down at Bellum is being worked over, and it's all done that we need to. And then we're just down at Manor Farm now as well, starting the work down there. We're going to put a cover crop in there before some spring barley goes into those 2 plots. There's one more field down at Moor Farm that we need to get tackled, but that is going to be... We have to have a look into some research. We're going to put a bit of fodder beat in, so we need to make sure we're drilling at the right time, and I feel like that might be more springtime. So if that is indeed the case, we will leave a bee until spring, and then we will probably put some spring barley in there as well, I would imagine, but we'll see. We'll have a review. Otherwise, yeah, it's all just little bits and pieces, little jobs at the moment there, which is going well. And yeah, just hiding a few things up around the yard. We've got another load of fertilizer in yesterday. Oh, get around that. There you go. So that is all looking good. And yeah, we're just kind of pottering along. But we're going to make our way back down to the yard there, because we've got to actually come back up this way in my tractor with a trailer on. And then I'll fill you in on why, because Bungle is doing something that strikes fear into many, particularly me. And we'll go and have a chat about that as well, and go and see where he is and what he's doing. So back down to Bellum, we'll grab the Massey, and then we'll see where we're going. Well, there you are. We are back at the quarry, just over the road from where we were before, looking into our field of oats. And we're here because we're coming to pick up some, I guess, crushed drainage rock. About half a trailer load there, enough that I can get in without losing any out the back. And so we're going to take this down to Bellum, because there's a little bit of a project going on there which I have had no part to play in. I have to stress that. But there are 3 words that send a shiver down my spine whenever I hear them, and they are bungle, rented, digger, and that has happened. So we're gonna go and see what he's done, and we're gonna see what his mind is, or what his little project is, and to see what he's doing. I've been asked to just bring a haul a load down of this rock, so I'm assuming it's for like a French drain or something, but we'll find out. But we're also down there anyway. We'll check in to see how Uncle's getting on in the Beltra, and see how things are plowing over there, because yeah, that's going to go into a cover crop sooner rather than later. But yeah, a little bit concerned, but yeah. So he's been down there since when yesterday he went down for the first time, and so we'll see what progress he's made and what his plans are and all that good stuff. But I haven't been down to the land there. We're due to, in the beginning of the year, take on another couple of fields from over that way. Good lord, that car was quick. So we'll have to take a look and see about that, and just yeah, start get a plan ready for those 2 fields as well, because yeah, January will be here before we know it, unfortunately. And then we'll be moving on and getting a bit more, probably more spring barley in the ground over there as well, I would imagine. so we can plan around that one accordingly. Come on, it's heavy trailer load now. Certainly knows it's there, that's for sure. But alright, just had to pull over, get out of the way, some traffic there. Like I was saying, the aim is to get those cover crops in by where possible. I'm hoping at least like next week or so. And then that way at least it's all done. And then we don't need to worry about that probably till March. And then we'll be, looking to get those spring barley in the ground, assuming that the weather conditions are good. And then that'll be the same for the new land, which I think one of the fields is a grass that we might keep in grass for the end of the first year. Because we're plowing over the grass field that we took on for this year. That we got some one cut off there, but we are taking that in now. And then we'll be able to really continue to increase our arable side of things. Maybe do a little bit of a shuffle around with the ground that we have at Bellum here, and also up at South Healy, so we can get a bit more grass up there where we need it. But yeah, there's so much we can take in and factor in there. Easy does it. Through we go. Okay, and around we are. Perfect. Nice and slowly through the village. I've played cricket a few times in there. Not much happening at the moment, it would look like. Very much nestled away for the winter. The other farmer who has this ground is still farming it. He's still getting turned over, although it looks like he's farming weeds at the moment. I think he has most of this stuff, including these fields on this side, for another 2 years. I think. And then, like I say, we are going to slowly take over. And I don't know why it's on a staggered tendency like that, but it's just the way it works out. We'll be taking over everything that's on the hillside behind the wood over there. We already have, and the fields on the other side of it as well. We're going to take over this year. And then we'll see. I'm not sure what the rest of it looks like. I'm hoping we'll have to see what it looks like for the gentleman who's farming at the moment to see if he's using the sheds or not, because I would love to get those for a bit more storage and some grain storage, so we're not... Because right now, for example, we've got half a trailer load of wheat and half a trailer load of beans in the trailers up at South Healy at the moment. We just have nowhere to put them in there. We're not ready for them at the dryer, so it's a real pain. If we had a floor we could tip them on there and even get a dryer in ourselves, well, that would just be handy. Alright, I think we're up here. And there we are. And there he is. Alright. Okay, let's just go and see what this carnage is all about, shall we? Massey's off the plow now, at least. He's been doing a little bit of different work. Got the rollers on it recently. It's been going well. Hello, Bungle. Never are you happier than when you have a digger to play with. What are we doing?
Hello, son. Well, I had an idea, and I wanted to see if it would work for when we start to get a little bit busier down here.
Okay. So we're digging a hole in the woods? Is that what we're playing at?
Well, something like that, yes. We're going to be looking to build a bit of a pond in here. I got a permit to use this as an extraction reservoir for spraying.
Okay. You do know we can't do that without a sprayer very well at the moment.
Well, I know, but it's probably more in mind for when we get a contractor in to do the bigger fields.
Oh, okay. Okay, look at that sun, by the way. It's lovely down here. And so what's the game plan down here? What are you doing?
Well, you'll see I've made a start with some of the piles over there. I'm going to build a bit of a dam. And I'm going to ramp it all up around that far side there. And then we're going to feed the drains into here from the side. And we're going to feed the drains in from the field. And there's a bit of a stream in there if you remember. And that's going to just slowly fill up and allow us to have a bit of a suction pond for our sprayers when they come in.
Okie dokie. And leaving the trees, I hope?
Oh, aye. Leave the trees.
And where are the drains and where do they come through?
Well, just along the side here, under that track. They'll come in on a diagonal. And there'll be some from the field on the other side.
I see. Okay. And how long you got this digger for? What's the plan with that?
A couple of days. A couple of days will do it.
I see. Right. Okay. Well, I'm going to have a play in the digger. I'm not playing one of those in a while. And then where do you want this tip in? I've got about 7 or 8 ton of stone here. Where do you want it?
I just stick it on the track there for now.
Alrighty. That's what we'll do. I'll just go and pull this around the corner. If you want to get that digger moved out of the way, that would be great. All right, no bother. Okay, good lord, this madness, absolutely bonkers. It's a lovely day over here, though, isn't it? Good lord, love it. Okay, so let's just do a bit of this. Stick it into reverse. There you go. Okay, and then we'll just try and sling this around the corner here where we can. He wants it on the track, so he shall blooming well get it on the track there. Anything else he can figure out himself. Let's just take our time around there. There you go. No. I'll do it. We can tip it there, I reckon. That'll be fine. Happy days. And stone he shall have. That should keep him busy for a little bit, I hope. Go and find out. I couldn't even put my drill away properly because he nicked the trailer for it. Oh, he's already in there. Okay, well, perfect. Alright, well then we will probably just pull ourselves out the way and then go and just see what Uncle's doing over the hill there, how he's getting on. I'll have to come back at some point or another to have a bit of a play around, but essentially it looks like we'll have a bit of a pond. You did mention there as well that when we get a contractor in, we are toying with the idea of getting rid of our sprayer, to be honest, because it's a bit old, not very accurate. All the deer are here, they won't be here much longer. Very old-fashioned for modern standards, and it's just a bit slower to get everything covered, whereas local contractor can come in and whip around most of our ground very quickly indeed. So that may well be what we end up doing, to be honest. Okay, well, let's just get out of his way, and then we're going to have a bit of a peek on the hillside and see what Uncle's doing, really. See how that's plowing over. As I mentioned there, this field will be going into spring barley in the spring, obviously, as will the far one. And then we'll be getting those ones over there in the new year as well. So we'll probably have one large block of spring barley down here as it currently stands. That way as well, we can might even be able to get a little bit of a cover crop into here for a few weeks before we come to drilling spring barley. I don't know. Train, there it goes. But we'll certainly find out. This is like a little meteorological station. Doesn't really have too much access or activity there these days from what I've seen. Oh, there he is. Looks like we're just going to miss him there. But yeah, so he started this field, came down late yesterday afternoon, got about an hour done. He's not long been down here this morning, but he's making some hefty progress for probably, about 2 hours. And it's turned out really nicely, actually. This has been pasture for a while, and it was put into grassland when my other uncle first rented it, and then at the end of the tenancy there, the previous farmer put it back in the grass as well, but it's turned over very nicely. Looks like it won't take much to actually do much with it to knock the tops off there, so could be nice and quick and easy. Vulture's been very impressive. We've all had a bit of a go on it. We got some plowing done with it over at Bellum, over at Moor Farm the other day, with Bungle doing that, and then Uncle's having to go in it today as well. It's really great to be able to have a bigger tractor which can pull my 5-furrow plow, just so it means that we can cover more ground as and when I'm drilling with the Massey. So it's really, really good to see that one, and it's really opened our eyes to what we might want to look into getting in the new year. Like I say, we've got this for another week and a half or something like that. So we'll continue to use it and see how it goes, but it's very nimble, very agile, nice short wheelbase tractor as well. Really, really impressive bit of equipment there. We'll not bother Uncle because he looks like he is all full ahead there, so we'll let him do his thing. But yeah, very impressive. So looking forward to see, figure around with some costs and ideas. We might try and get a few other demos of similar size of tractors and wheelbases, that kind of stuff, but yeah, that's a good favorite. And that one's really smooth on the road, actually. Very, very nice on the road. Transmission takes a little bit of getting used to, I won't lie. But once you do, yeah, it's not too bad at all. It's not too bad. So we'll have to see how that goes. And then we will be, we'll be all wrapped up. Really get this field plowed over. There's the field that's going to beaten barley over at the over at Moor Farm. So 1, 2, 3 fields left for now. And then everything else will be, there's only a couple of fields left for the spring as well, and then we're all set. Quite fascinating, really. But yeah, I'm going to go back up and tidy up a few things around the yard. Probably give this tractor a bit of wash down. I gave it a bit of a service over the other day so we can get on top of that one. I don't think I'm required for any more stone. I've got a bit of mucking out I can do over the yard whilst I'm there. So that is probably exactly what we'll go and do. Alright, just give me a beep. On my way. I'll leave him to do his thing there. So I don't know if you can quite see it through here. There's a little bit of a dip and there's a stream that comes, or drain more than anything comes through here. Oh yeah, it's in there. So he's going to try and build that up a little bit, I think. We'll see how well he gets on with that. Very much not my concerns. And I will leave him to do it. He's happy there and he's also out my way, so you know, that is also fine. And then we will see. Yeah, these two sheds down here, actually, I'd love to be able to get into these ones. I don't think they're being used. Let's have a quick peek. It would be great to have a big storage space. I would love to get a hold of a dryer of some sort because I think it would be really beneficial to control our some of our grain when we need to. Because like I say, we're at the beck and call, really. Straw shed here would be good to use. Don't know if this is open or not. Oh, it is. And there's a big old dryer in here as well. So nice big hard floor to tip things onto. We get the combine in here out the way for the winter as well. That would be pretty cool. But, you know, it's not ours right now. We haven't got it. So we'll see what happens over the winter and see when we can get that released to us. But, you know, lots to consider, that's for sure. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to My Farming Life. You join me in my masses as I'm carting a trailer load, or soon to be a trailer load of wool down from South Healy to Bellum. We have eventually found ourselves a buyer for this. Now it's pretty much going to be pennies on the dollar of what it's worth, but that's where wool is at the moment, and every little helps at the minute. So we will get this taken away, but first we need to go back on over to our yard. I'm going to be meeting Bungle and my cousin down there because we want to have a bit of a chat about a few different things. We have a bit of a crisis at Moor Farm at the moment, and I'm hoping, well, long term we have a solution for it. Short term, I'm hoping the solution has arrived. And if it has, then we're in great condition and we don't need to worry too much. We should be fine. But if it hasn't, or indeed it won't be, then we're going to have a little bit more of a problem to try and solve. So we're just going to take ourselves up here and see what that looks like for us, really. It's been a bit of a day of small little bits and pieces, really. Feeding everything up. We've caught that a bit of muck there this morning as well. And because we're getting a little bit out of hand down here. And then yeah, it's just a few little things like that, but otherwise really all the main cultivation jobs for the year are done. Everything's in the ground, everything's coming through and looking relatively okay, actually. Quite happy with it so far. And we'll have to see if the winter's kind to us or not, or if it's just a wet washout, but everything's in there I needed to have in, and then we will be ready to go in the springtime. The ground that Uncle was plowing over there in the last episode is finished. We've even got a cover crop in there as well. And that's looking, you know, as good as it can do, given this about a week old at this stage. And yeah, we've got most of our fertilizer here. Still one more load to come at some stage, but I'm not too concerned about that yet because A, we don't need it right now, and B, we received the invoice when we received delivery. So if I can stem that cash flow just a little bit and stop that coming in anytime soon, then I will be all about that. Because we have a large expense coming up. Now, we mentioned in the previous episode that we are looking to do some significant yard improvements with the help of a couple of grant schemes there as well. But for the most part, it will be our own investment. And we are really looking to transform one side of this farmyard. And this thing on our right plays a bit of a part in that. And before we go any further, really, I'm going to have a bit of a look around and show you what I mean. Because, yeah, there's quite a few things that can be changed here. Well, that's a sudden gear change down. Anyway, let's probably, until I figure out what we're going to do with this, let's leave this here. So, this farmyard was built originally about 40 years ago. Maybe even a bit more now, in 2024. So maybe 45, 50 years ago. Now, some of these buildings have been added on since then. Much like the big new sheep shed at the back there. But most of them are very old, and they serve a purpose, but they're not fit for purpose. And for example, the cattle shed here has a very, very small slurry lagoon underneath it, and we are already full down there. We've maxed it out for capacity, and it's only November, and we can't spread anything on the ground again until what is it, mid-January at this point. So we are in a bit of a crisis, bit of a predicament. So that's why we've had to hire in and rent in this giant lagoon, which is probably about 3/4 of the size of our tank down there anyway. So what we're going to do is we got a gentleman coming over with a slurry pump, and we're going to actually fill this up. We're going to pump out of our station over there. We're going to fill this up, and that'll give us plenty of breathing space for the next couple of months, because we just can't carry on as it is. And one of those issues that we have is that we're increasing the size of our beef operation, and we want to increase it further here by quite a drastic number, but we just don't have the facilities to do it. So we're bringing forward one of our construction plans. Let's turn this off because we're going to go and find Bungle, I guess. Cousins over there as well, so we're going to find them. I think they're having a chat about all things cattle, and you can see the work has started already, because we need to get a new slurry store put up quickly as well, because we want to be able to get rid of that temporary measure, have everything in a nice new lagoon. We're going to put a slurry separator in there as well, so we can get a bit more solid manure out of that, and really kind of reduce the impact on the slurry lagoon, because ultimately down here we want to increase our head of beef by at least 100, which is going to mean a fairly large shed over there. So that's certainly something to consider. Now, and he is part of 2/3 of the committee, missing the other uncle, of course. Hello, how are we both today?
Good, thanks.
Alright, not too bad.
Good. You can see we already got a start on here. Contractor came in, cleared off the topsoil there, and then put up a first pad down. Now we had to block it off because the escape artist would be through this hole immediately, but this is where we're going to start. That's where the lagoon's going to go, at least, and on this side is going to be a big old lagoon and slurry separated next to it, and then the big cattle shed on this side. So that's going to be exciting. What do you think, Cuz? Do you like it?
Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it? I'm looking forward to seeing how this develops over the next year. It's going to be a huge change to have such an improved beef unit on this farm.
I think so, absolutely. It's going to be fantastic to see just what scale it's going to look like. The plans are difficult to comprehend at the moment, but first things first, I think we need to get that slurry store in, so we have half a chance of being able to handle what we've currently got going on down here.
It's getting a little bit tough down here with little space. Thank God we were able to get that hired in lagoon there. That Bowser's going to come in very handy.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Big Roger's coming over to fill, to pump into there, isn't he?
He should be here later on today, so we'll get that one sorted out.
And Cuz, you're looking rather smart. Where have you been?
Oh, I've been to meet with another calf dealer today, looking at different breeds and options for next year.
Very good. And how's everything going over at the satellite yard? I was there not so long ago, and it seems like the calves are doing well, putting on a little bit of weight there at least.
Yes, they're doing well, averaging good gains across the board. The current rations they're on seem to be doing the job. If we can figure out our rotations to include some sugar beet, that would significantly help with our costing.
Yeah, I think that'll be great. And we've got Bungle and I here need to figure out what that's going to look like in terms of acreage, but we can certainly get some beet in for this year. See what that's going to be. We might have to try and find a way to get it chopped up though.
We need to think about that. I've got a few plans, but we'll have to see what we can find.
Yeah, no kidding. So what's the latest? What's the time frame for this? What are you thinking? What's it looking like? Have we heard anything?
I think they'll be back next week to start the base. And from what I've heard, it's going to be a pretty quick gig. Maybe even just a week, because they're all coming here to do it at once. So it'll be a quick up. Once they get going, it'll be great. The longest part of it will be the slurry separator.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's not the main thing we need. That's a nice to have after the fact, isn't it, really?
Definitely. Main thing we need down here right now is to set up that lagoon and take the pressure off to tank. Shame we could get any more out before the ban came into effect.
Yeah, that would have been great. It would have been very nice indeed. Not always the case. Timing doesn't work out quite right, does it?
No, you're telling me. Are we finally getting rid of that wool, are we?
Yes. Yes, I am. Not gonna lie, the price I'm getting for it's not great, but it might pay for a cube or two of concrete by the end of it.
Oh well, it's better than sitting in the shed.
That's it. The price of wool is ridiculous at the moment. Thankfully, lamb's doing okay, so it's holding its own, but good lord, is it poor.
Did you bring everything down from the back of the sheds at Healy?
Yep, that's it. I've got 5 pallets, I think. So I'm going to just potter on and get a few things loaded up with the John Deere there. And then whether we'll take it away today or not might be tomorrow, but it'll be on the wheels ready to go.
Oh, good. Perfect. All right, well, I'll let you crack on. We're going to have a bit of a chat about what we're doing with calves, and then we'll see how we go.
All right. Okay, perfect. Well, if you need me, I'll be around. I'm just gonna have a walk around the site first and then get going, I think.
All right then. See you in a bit.
All right. Okay, so bit of excitement there. I'm excited to see how this goes. Next week or so, we could have it really plugged in and away, to be honest. It might not take much longer than that at all. But we'll have to see. We're really trying to up our operation here for cattle. And that's going to take something that's going to take a while to do. But, oh, hello there. We can certainly get a start on it, and having the infrastructure to add another 100 cattle in here minimum would be fantastic there. It really, really would. But it's going to take some time. We'll also need to think about the different considerations for land as well. Do we need to put a bit more of the land around here into grass and use the land that we're picking up over at the down at Manor Farm there? Do we keep that as it is, or maybe put all that into arable? We don't know. There's a lot to think about there. But yeah, that's about the footprint of the slurry store. Maybe a bit further back as well. But yeah, it's going to be pretty big. It's going to be about just under the top of the A-frame on that shed as well, actually. Which will be good. So we'll get into. We've now cleared a little bit of one bay of straw out at least, so we've got a bit more space to store things in. Once we get things like this done, the rest of my week really is going to be held up now with servicing. I'll show you what I've got to do. I want to change the filters on this thing eventually as well, but I got the plow in there now that we're finished with that. All the metals are finally here, so we'll get all the bodywork changed on that one. And I got a tin of paint as well. We might try and get that brushed up a little bit too. Drill's looking okay for now, at least. That will be fine. But then tractors will all get going over there, change filters on some of them as well. And then I got to go up to do the combine up at South Ely now that that's all undercover. We finally got those 2 trailer loads sold off as well, which had the a little bit of linseed and some beans inside them. So they're all done and dusted, which is good. So we're really kind of kicking along now, which is great. So aim is for us to continue and just keep on top of everything so that when we get around to it in the spring, we don't have to worry about it. We can just get going. Now, this, ladies and gentlemen, might be a little bit tight. Let's see. Used to be all right with the old JCB. Oh, look at that, we're through. Perfect. What we'll probably have to do is just slide these in a bit, though. That's the one disadvantage of a telehandler. Cannot see a thing that's happening, but we've got 2. All right. Easy does it. Now these are going to go away to some. Usually would send them off to a dealer who would buy them all up in bulk there, and then they would they go to spinneries somewhere up and down the country. But they were just so slow in even getting back to us, and also the cost they were offering when they were coming back with quotes was, oh, dropped one. Oh well, was absolutely terrible. So we haven't done that. So we found someone a little bit more independent, and we're going to run with it and see what we can do, see what price it'll give us. Now let's get this Massey turned around. Let's see if we're going to just squeeze through here without any issues. I think we will be fine. Perfect. So yeah, by the sounds of things, at least, contractors are going to be coming in and making a flying start on all things. Oh, back a little bit more maybe. On that slurry pit. I don't know if we'll be able to get it all captured or not. We'll have to see. But chances are we'll come back and there'll just be a finished produce there. But honestly, I'm just looking forward to having that done, really. And it's going to be a key kind of start and sample, really, for what's coming up. And I don't think we haven't needed to get planning permission for it either, because it's an add-on, really, to an active structure. So that should be good. And we will see how it goes. Plan permission is all good though for the new building, so that's handy. That's all been set, and we're just going to keep going through. We have to figure out how I'm going to rescue this one now, of course, but that's less than ideal. You know what? I think I've just nailed it. Look at that. Ah, can't teach that. You cannot teach that. So we're going to get this all loaded up here anyway. And like I was saying to the other two, I'm probably just going to stick this in the corner and leave this trailer for now. I don't really want to have to take this anywhere this afternoon. Other things I'd rather do. So we'll get cracking with it and see what's next on the cards. All right, well, they're on. That's about all you can say. It's not going too far away though, so we'll be good. We're just gonna swing this back around the corner, and then we'll leave it like that for the day. I think that should be all good. And that's one less job to think about or worry about there. We had to get that done. Like I say, it's not gonna pay for much, but maybe we'll get a cube of concrete paid for or so in the grand scheme of this project. Because yeah, that's gone up since we last had to use it and last had to get any shipped in, so it's an unpleasant surprise to say the least. However, many of those costs are going to be occurred. We do have a grant that can save us a little bit on concrete, so that's good, and a few other building costs there. And then if we opt to go a bit further with this as well, because there's other stages of this building project that we might well get to at some point, things like the potential to reduce down surface runoff on the farmyard here from rainwater, for example, from the slurry pit, from the silage pit, because everything right now when it rains has to go into the slurry tank under the shed there, and as you may know, it does rain quite a bit here, so we're kind of hampered by that. So we're trying to look into ways of avoiding that. So a few little bits and pieces, or a few bigger engineering projects there could help that one. Obviously, we're not going to look into it too much at the moment. The main thing we'll do is get that calf shed up first, and then we can assess those options. That being said, some of that will be a little bit further down the line. I think we're looking like right now the calf shed, as it will be, is going to hopefully be coming on in around about the I think it's going to be starting in January. So we'll have to see what that looks like. Right then. We're also due to receive something else soon. I need to check with Cousin to see if that is on its way, because I thought that was coming tomorrow. We'll have to see though. We're going to just swing this on into here. Perfect stuff. Turn that around. So we got everything mucked out the other day as well. We were able to get a start on clearing out some of the sheds. Something keeps getting bigger and bigger. And then, yeah, that's all looking quite good there. Of course, we'll be looking into probably soon starting to cart some of that muck down to the new ground, because we're going to need it down there shortly, I would imagine. So that'll be the option. But yeah, like I say, let's figure out what Cousin's doing here. Got that out about Cousin. Yeah, later on today we're going to get on, probably put this onto the back of the tractor and just get it looked into for lifting it up, changing all the bodywork over here. This metalwork's all shot, but you know, we had a good run on it, and then we've got all new metalwork to put on. All plowing's finished. The voucher's gone home now. It's been returned. There was a good tractor for us for best part of a month, and yeah, it'll certainly like it a lot. It's certainly an option that we'll be investigating to see, you know, what we can do with one of those in the new year in terms of cost. Nice short wheelbase, but plenty of power to it. Quite punchy as well. So it was a nice machine. Definitely did like that one. Cousin, did you get to go on the voucher? What do you think of it?
Do you know, I really liked it. Very surprised by it.
It's nippy, isn't it? It was pretty sharp. Good amount of weight to it as well for this size. I would like to explore an option like that in the new year.
I'd be curious to see the finances on such a model and compare it with other similar brands.
Yeah, I think so. We'll have to see what's out there and what we can find. But yeah, that's definitely part of the plan. Are you heading off up to the back up to South Healy now?
Yup, just about to head up now.
Have we got the calf pens up there yet? Have they arrived? I was going to probably take a drive up and have a look at those sometime soon.
Yes, they arrived this morning. Not quite set up yet, but should be done tomorrow.
Ah, magnificent. Okay. Good to know. Perfect. All right, well, I'm going to just do a bit of work on the plow, get that serviced up, and then get a few other things ticked off here, and I'm looking forward to see what happens over there in the next week. But otherwise, not really much more. I will give you a call in the morning, but I'll come up and see what that's looking like, I reckon.
Sounds good. See you tomorrow.
All right, bye now. Okay, Massey, let's bring that round. Yeah, so we got these new calf boxes coming in, which will allow us to separate any calves off that aren't very well for whatever reason. picking up any kind of illness. So we can kind of keep it contained and keep it away from the rest of the herd there. So that's gonna be really interesting to see. Okay then, let's just do a bit of this. I'm going to put this onto the plow, I reckon. Get that lifted up so we can service it all through. And then we'll be good to go. Quite a contrasting time of year now. The madness is finished, everything's done, everything's in the ground that needs to be in the ground. So a little bit of pressure's been taken off here, which is good. Now it's already focused on the livestock side of things. Let's get them all done and dusted, which is good. And, you know, just feeding things, shuttling things around. Yard prep as it looks like now. And alright, let's squeeze into here. I can probably start this on the deck, but I will need to pick it up at some stage or another. So yeah, like I said, we're going to get this tarted up a little bit and then eventually get it touched up with the paint on there as well. So we'll show you what that looks like when we get it all done and dusted. But as you can see, after we knocked it off with the pressure washer there, it's paintwork is not great, so we'll have to get a little bit of a touch-up going there as well. We'll have to see how that looks. Alright then, well, a couple of hours work on there, and that plow's looking almost unrecognizable. I've just done a bit of paintwork on there, so the door's shut. We'll show you what that looks like when we come back for the next episode there, I would suggest. But now it's going to be time for us to think about getting everything fed up again already. So we'll start with the sheep, I reckon. Just throw a bale of hay in for them, then they will be good. And then we don't have to worry about them anymore. And then, yeah, back out with the Ford. That muck heap is just forever increasing, so we'll need to keep on top of that one again. And we'll be okay. But for now, at least, let's just stick these here. On with the bale spike, and yeah, like I say, we'll just get everything fed up here, and that's the start of the routine. And I'll take the tractor up to the back up to South Healy. Cousin's taking our truck up there. I'll bring that back and let him do everything he needs to down here. But yeah, making good time and good progress. It's one of those kind of days at the moment. I'm really looking forward to see what happens with the construction work over here across the next little while, because it's going to be quite quick and it's going to be quite interesting to see where it goes as well. So keep an eye out for that one, because we'll try and bring you along for the ride with that as when we see what's happening. But right now, just a wintry day really, middle of November. It's getting dark early. It's only about 4:30, but it's always a signal for me to get going. So we'll do just that, and then once we're all said and done, well, it's time to go home, get some office work done, paperwork done, filled in, and all that good stuff. And then yeah, we'll call it a day. And welcome to my farming life. This is going to be quite a big episode. There's a lot happening today, all focusing around here. We're going to try and document a little bit at least of how it looks like to build your slurry tank in your new yard extension. So we've got a lot of work to do. First thing we've needed to do is get our base sorted out here, concrete poured over there, and that was all with the help of the mighty big JCB. There's going to be lots of different equipment arriving over the course of the next few days. We're going to try and capture what that looks like. It's going to be difficult, but we'll try and see at least what's coming in through the doors. And then yeah, lovely looking JCB 220 XLC to start with, grading everything down. This is a site we'll be using with to start with now, but it will get a bit bigger. It will push out towards that gate there before we're all done. Next up, though, I would assume we'll be forming up and then pouring a bit more concrete and getting this thing out the ground. Oh, and next up is a big old truck, and on the back, whoosh, cherry picker. We've had countless lorries. That one was leaving with the last of the rubber rings, but we've had lorries, concrete trucks, and everything else we need to bring in all the materials for this slurry store. That one there, like I say, is bringing in the last of the rubber rings that are helping to put together the big metal rings that make up our silo. So, all very interesting. There's one piece left, and that's the big boy. And well, after that crazy busy week, look what we have in front of us here. We have our ginormous Slurry Lagoon. Bungle, it's huge. Look at the size of this thing.
Aye, it's a bit bigger than I thought it would be, isn't it?
It's absolutely ginormous. We have already filled, well, emptied the lagoon from over here in our shed. There's a lot of cattle work to do today, a lot of mucking out to do, as you can see. We're going to get onto that. But this is now, it was full to the brim, this slurry store, and it's now been emptied. And I think it's about 10% full, approximately, give or take. So that is absolutely incredible. We haven't piped it through underneath there for two reasons. One, speed, but primarily cost. We can get away with maybe once a season tanking from there to there. That's fine. We can do that. I mean, it took me an hour and a half today to get that emptied out with I think we did, what, 11, 12 trips, something like that. So I'm really not too concerned about that at all. So that is fine. But it's a start. It's progress. It's in. It's not finished yet either. There's more to go. Isn't that right, Bungle?
Aye, certainly is. We're going to get a big bit of kit coming in the next month or so.
We are indeed. Yeah, it's going to be actually going right behind here. We're going to get a slurry separator coming in, which is going to be something I've never really seen too much about until recently. But idea being we can reduce the amount of stuff we're putting into our lagoon there by filling this, like separating out all the heavier slurry as well. So that's going to be pretty cool to see and witness. And then the rest of our site is ready. New shed work will probably be starting in the next 4 or 5 weeks. So over back end of December, because we're in like late November now, back end of December into November. And the shed will be going from pretty much the corner here all the way along to really the end of the silage pit over there. And then I'm just going to run around here and show you what it's going to look like. Now we have the plans finalized, we can kind of talk you through it a little bit more. That's quite exciting. We're going to be shifting that today because we need to clear some space here. And we're actually going to take a little bit away as well. But so this gate's going to move. Gate's going to move over to the end there, so we can go flush with the end of here, really, the end of this red beam. This little track's going to bend around, make that work, and then the cattle building's going to come up to about here, maybe not quite, about here maybe, and then there'll be a muck bin in here, so we can move our muck around, store it more more efficiently inside our own complex, and then we'll put a new fence up here as well to keep the sheep out. But yeah, that's the plan. It's going to look rather good. You'll notice there's a class with us today. We have been demoing this for a few days. We don't have it for too much longer. But we're having a bit of a blast with it just to see what it looks like and see how it reacts and behaves and all that fun stuff. Just to see if it's a good tractor for us, really. We've got we already tried the Valtra, which was good. We've got this. We've got a New Holland lined up as well, and maybe a Massey 5S if I can squeeze one in. But plus 530, it's again in around that 130, 140 horsepower mark. It's a nice tractor. It really is, actually. We are all done here. I got my lights in here for some reason as well. Turn those off. Yeah, really nice machine to be in. Actually, nice cab. I'm quite pleasantly surprised by this, to be honest. And yeah, it's nimble. We're all looking at the... How's that sheep got through there? We're all looking at the shorter wheelbase machines, which is just going to be better fit for us right now, to be honest. And this one fits that need there. But this could, in theory... Watch out, Bungle. I don't know why you're standing around there. Maybe he's going to help me unhook this. In theory, we'll be able to use it on the plow if we need to. With quite the ease. But let's see what he's doing. I'll go and pick up that trailer. Do you want to fill me up and we'll get some of this muck cart out of the way?
Aye, sounds good.
All right, then you can do that. Yeah, we're gonna have to shift all this at some point, but it's the advantage of having some building yard in the go, because it just means we've got a free stack yard, really, or machine park for right now. Anywho, I'm gonna pick up our trailer because we're gonna have to shift this again, and it's a bit of a drier day today, which is good. Finally, it stopped raining for us for a little bit, and so we're gonna take advantage. We're gonna try and not make any mess, get these nice tight, tidy trailer loads. And then we're going to cart this on down to Manor Farm and stick it into the side of the field there. Whilst we can, whilst it's a bit quiet. And hopefully not make a mess and everyone will be happy. And it also gets us a chance whilst we've got this here just to test it out and see what it's like on the road pulling. Because they are all the things I want to know. Yeah, really nice, nice transmission here. but also a just a very, very nice ergonomic feel inside the cab here. I really like how it behaves and what it looks and feels like. So I think it's really, really good. We need to put it under a bit of work where we can, but then this is only going to be replacing the Ford, so it doesn't really need to be a super heavy machine for field work. And I think the Valtra might perform slightly better in that regards, but yeah, like I say, nice tidy machine. And we'll see. We will see. Someone was asking me recently in the comments, you know, what the plan is to replace the Ford, and it's going to be something which will be officially rubber stamped and then completed in the new year. We'll just look into trying to figure out now, you know, what options that we have, and see what the best options are financially, and also for us as a fit on the farm. But you know, never hurts to try everything out there. There's a good lot of range of this kind of small to medium sized tractors, so absolutely makes sense for us to give it a go. And yeah, we'll see. We actually got rid of the tanker. We found that because everything was so quick, we put a few loads into there, but then realistically we were able to get rid of it pretty quickly, so that was absolutely fantastic. So that's what we've done, and yeah, all being well, we'll be able to continue that and not have to pay for too many more expenses. The slurry tank is enough right now. This the separator, we'll try and get it. I want to get that in sooner rather than later. I want to also look at solar power options for that as well, and to offset all of our energy on the farm here, because I think that would be a great thing to do where we can. But Bungle says he's going to fill me up, so I'm going to let him do that, and we will go for a bit of a spin soon and see where it takes us. So whilst Bungle is finishing up there and doing whatever he's doing with my trailer, I'm thinking of trying to see if we can get some solar panels on the roof. Now, the only roof that would make sense right now is this new one, because it's a newer roof and it's easier to apply them onto. This roof is going, the axis of this roof is north-south though, which is not so ideal. You obviously preferably would be south-facing. Now you can put some on east and west, you'll still get some plenty of activity, but just not as much as you would obviously if it was all south-facing. The new cattle shed is going to be primarily northwards, so that's not going to work either. So that'll be the option that we're looking into there, and if it can offset all of our yard usage, that would be great. One other thing as well that we have decided upon recently, and it's going to be happening in the next week or two, is that our sprayer is going away. Oh, it looks like is he finished? Left me with a shorter load there. Perfect. Thumbs up. Good. Yeah, our sprayer is going to be going because we've decided a couple of things. It's quite small, but it's also quite old, which means we've been looking into a lot more grants and schemes that we're applying for that make the most sense for us, and that's just a little bit too outdated for us to let's jump over there to actually apply for some of them. It does not guarantee that we can be successful in the application to enter certain farming schemes, which obviously we want to do to be the most lucrative that we can be. So we need someone, we've got a few neighbors and even a contractor in mind that can come in with a modern sprayer, because ideally right now we need section control, and we don't have that on that sprayer, like I said, because it's old. So what we want is to find someone who can come in, spray what we currently have, and then maybe we'll look to something, not this year, not next year, but the year after that, we might look to see if we can find something that will do a job for us there. But yeah, that's the plan. So there's we've been doing a lot of thinking recently and a lot of planning, because it is the time of year where you can kind of plan for next year and figure out what budgets are going to be looking like, and get a foothold in there. So we're just about to start to turn in our books for the end of year account. Oh, this bale's starting to fall down, and we'll see. But yeah, that's on the mind there. All right, away we go. So you know, this trailer load of mucks on the back there is quite heavy, but it's still pulling us like a train. This is a CVT box of some sort, and it's quite nice. Like I say, very ergonomic, very nice. It's smooth through the gears as well, and it's just a very impressive little tractor, I must say. Heard good things about these. This is the Arian, so I've heard good things about this. Obviously, the next version up would be, there's two different series of the Arian, the 6 and the 500s. This is the 540. Next size up there would be the Axion, I do believe, and then the Arez, maybe. Someone can tell me if I'm wrong way around there. No, I like it. I do like it a lot. Whoa, you came through that village quickly. Jeepers. All right, and then through we go here. Like I say, we just take our time, like that driver. Ooh. got a little bit tail happy there. Okay. And so yeah, we need to shift as much muck as we can down to Manor Farm here for the land that we have down here, specifically the new land that we're going to be taking on. We've been able to request and receive access to tip some of this manure on the ground that we'll be taking control of as of January the 1st. So that's good, because obviously they've cleared it off there now. So we're going to start to hold down when we can, and also clear a bit of space. We've got quite a bit at the top and that around Moor Farm there, but to be honest, there's also going to be a lot of slurry there, so that'll be the main priority. This farmer here, the tenant's doing a great job of growing weeds, it would appear. All right, and we are desperately trying to see if we can get a hold of that shed. The tenant may or may not be needing it still. We might though also be looking to acquire a grain dryer, because there is an old grain dryer in there that we used to use when my uncle had the place, but it's, oh lord, it'll be best part of what, 35, 40 years old now, and it doesn't work. So we're going to try and find a portable one of some sort that we could use. But that is all the kind of like 2-year plans really at the moment that go around my mind, and we're trying to figure it all out and piece it all together there, so we shall see. All right, and I think there's a lot of grass on here, and we are very tempted to just leave that be and maybe cut it for something, which we might still do. But what we'll also do, I think, is just reverse this around and tip a load of muck into it. Because yeah, this is a fairly newish grass and it doesn't look too bad. I don't know if they'll be staying in grass just yet. We'll have to see. That field down there is this weed, so we'll have to get that sprayed off when we're ready to go, and get the plow in there and see what we do for some spring barley. This whole block up here, maybe this field as well, will be spring barley by the time we're done this spring. Yeah, it looks like a really smart tractor. Let me know if you've ever driven one of these or one of its bigger brothers or sisters. Yeah, it's all right. Let's try and get onto the hill here and get out of the way. All right, and up we go. Yeah, it's going to take quite a lot of tons of muck up here, but then it'll get us into a good starting point, so we'll just keep pushing away, see what we can do. Otherwise, yeah, a lot of small little bits and pieces on today. Waiting to see about calls back for the next steps of the development of the yard there, and we will see, but it's quite exciting really. Now the new shed that we'll be bringing up there, it's aimed that we'll be able to stick about 100 head of cattle in there. Oh, wasn't much of a load bungle at all. So 100 head of cattle is pretty cool. So that's going to take an extra, well, quite a lot of extra feed in. So we will have to see how it all comes together. But that is what we're planning and how it's shaping up at the moment. So we'll look forward to getting that in action. I hope that by springtime next year, well, the cattle is going to take a bit longer. Summertime, I would say next year, we'll be in a position that we can fill that shed. That gate's not very good. Add that to the list, I suppose. Let's bungle some creation in there, otherwise known as this play pit, I suppose. Alright, I'm surprised that cover crop's not come through yet. Hopefully we'll see it soon. Alright, away we go. Back over to the yard there, where we will, yeah, I suppose, get ready to do this all again. It's actually got a very nice responsive gearbox. The transmission is very, very good. I think I like it a lot more than the Vulture one. It's smoother for me for sure. Really, really is. So that's great. So, but no, ultimately I'm very impressed. $50K box on here as well, so it is a little bit quicker than the Ford, which is good. Obviously a lot more power in there. We've got the widest spec of tires on here that this model can actually have, which aren't maybe as wide as I'd want it to be, but they're fine. You know, if absolutely necessary, we could always put on a set of jewels or something. All right, come on, people. I don't like the idea of the inventor who put that bollard in the middle there. That island's useless for us and bigger equipment. And we're gonna let that car go. Alright then, so we'll get this parked in again and then we'll load this up and see a few more loads down there. I think I'll just about do it and then we'll be set. Oh, it looks like Bungo's left me as well to do this one on my own, so we will get on with it. And then we're all good to roll. The beef down here are doing very well. Putting on a bit of muscle, a bit of weight there. Some of them might be going soon because there's a bit of a kick up in the price at the minute. So we'll try and capitalize on that where we can. But the really impressive part of the cattle over at the satellite pen that we have. Oh, don't try this at home. Very much being unsafe at the minute. They're really starting to pile on the weight, which is good. So they're getting a bit bigger and also just heavier, which is fantastic news. So hopefully that will continue. And yeah, we'll probably be looking to get rid of some of those in April-ish. And then the rest of them will probably go a little bit later in the year there as well. But key thing is that they're putting on muscle mass as well as size, which is fantastic. And I'm really pleased with all of that being said. We're due in the next little while here to have a bit more equipment arriving at the yard. Some of which, well, it's gonna be January for our own farming equipment, but there's gonna be construction equipment arriving soon as well as start the work on the new shed. So we'll try and show you what some of that looks like there, but we'll also probably just have to stay clear for the most of it. And we will see. I think as we're going on the road there, we'll probably leave that about there. Looking good. We'll get one more grab. Well, all right, good and done. We're actually doing pretty well for straw at the moment as well. Really, we're getting through it, but we've still got plenty left to go out, which is good. We'll probably finish this bay in the next 1, 2, 3, 7, next week. That'll go, and then yeah, we'll have to see how we get on from there. But we'll be okay. Key thing is though, it's November and we've still got late November at that, and the sun's still shining, so I am happy as a clam. So we're gonna take this one away. And then we will see how we get on. So thank you very much for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed this little update. It's been a quick update, lots happening. But I hope you've enjoyed it nonetheless. And we will see you all for the next one. Till then, do stay safe. Enjoy what you're doing as always. I have been Simulation for the Nation. This has been my farming life. If you have enjoyed it and yet to do so, please do consider giving it a like and a thumbs up. And drop a comment down below. And we will see you all next time. If you're new, do remember to hit that subscribe button to follow along, and I will be around over the weekend with the next episode. So until then, do stay safe, enjoy what you're doing, and we'll catch you later.